I'm sitting here just constantly refreshing.
Refresh. We live yet? Refresh. We live yet? Refresh.
I wish it was a joke, but yes.
Alright. Very ill prepared today. This is great. Alright. Hello, everyone. We seem to be live according to YouTube. How is everyone doing today? Welcomers, Kitten and Nathan. You guys are first to the chat. Specifically, Kitten beats you, Nathan. So gotta get that simp energy at max, boy. You almost lost to him. Anywho, also welcome Maximilian Fontaine. Just caught your comment there. All right, so welcome to the Geekiest Theoreticus podcast. We're on episode 21, which is actually pretty. It's pretty nice. We're over 20 episodes.
Oh, good. Now we can start having alcohol on stream.
What is the age of the? Alright, so the age of the podcast is a year an episode.
Look. I'll put it this way, okay? I told you that I'm scheduled over 50 hours this week. Last week, I actually did not work. I was off 3 days and still managed to hit 40 hours. Now, I was supposed to work one of those days, but I had a doctor's appointment. So, allow me one stupid joke, okay?
You can say all the stupid jokes you want. I'm just gonna. I'll get you for each one of them.
I have been so exhausted. Like, I'm gonna actually tell you the worst part was Monday because I worked 14 hours on Sunday.
How was that? On a Sunday in particular. That's usually those are the lower hours. Those Sundays.
No, I opened Sunday. I worked from 9 to 4. And then took an hour break and worked from 5 to about 12:15.
Is that legal?
Yeah, well, it's the restaurant business, so it's a little different from like working retail or anything like that. So as long as I get a break, but there have been times when I worked there the first time that I did pull an open to close double, and that was on me. I was just like, you know what? No, I won't take a break. We're busy. I got this. Yeah, that was like 2-3 years ago. Now it's just like, no, fuck that shit.
Well, at least you get to get your mind off it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of, that is the theme of this particular episode. Is you guys, the audience, gets to pick the goddamn topic that we'll be discussing. So shoot away any particular topics you want us to talk about, and I'll include like internet drama on this one because there's been some recent ones that are kind of funny. We're still gonna avoid politics, so no like
but not drama.
Not drama. No, drama is fair game. Drama's hilarious. Some of the recent shit that's been hitting my recommendeds in particular, like even people I've never heard of before. Like there's this guy. Have you heard about this guy named James Charles?
Oh yes, I've heard about that one.
I didn't even know it was a guy at first. I saw a thumbnail. I was like, oh, who's this chick's got an interesting haircut. And then I read the name and I'm like, huh?
He has a common joke of some of the boys that YouTube group that I showed you about. Yes, I know exactly who he is. Here's one you probably don't know. Have you heard of Nikocado Avocado?
Wait, is he that guy who used to be vegan and then started doing mukbangs and then exploded?
Yeah,
literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Apparently, also mukbangs have made him lose his damn mind.
Shocker. Also, welcome AR. Welcome AR to the stream.
Kotaku says there are too many Warhammer games. Well, Kotaku can burn to the fucking ground for that opinion.
Hold on, let me look up that article. I'm curious.
Also, so I have I found a better way to do this. Even though there's only 6 in here right now, I kind of want to see what this is, and we could probably announce it like end of the stream. But I want everyone to guess what mine and Asmagon's favorite genre of musics are.
I don't even think you do. You know what mine is? I think so. I think I've told you.
I don't think you have, but I could probably guess.
Yeah. So apparently there is a Kotaku article. There are too many Warhammer video games. Want me to read the whole thing, or?
No.
Actually, there isn't much to the article. It's a very lazy article.
I imagine it is, because I imagine there's no. They're too violent. It's fascist. There's too many.
Literally, this is the whole article right here. Back in 2016, Mike wrote. I don't know who this Mike person is. Mike wrote a blog called "There Are Far Too Many Warhammer Games in 2021. Things have only gotten worse." More games is worse. Okay, interesting from a video game article website. It's like there's too many games.
Wait a minute. So they're saying overall that video games have gotten worse, or that 40K games have gotten worse?
I guess 40K games. And the thing is, I'm not sure if when they say things have only gotten worse, they're saying the quality of the game, or if they're talking that since there's more added to the list. Like, oh no, there's too many games. Who the fuck complains about that? Oh no, have you ever heard someone go, "There's too much money"? No, there's too many movies.
I will say, normally
there's too many blowjobs. Who bitches about more entertainment? This is peak Kotakuism right here. This is why the company should have burned to the ground forever ago, man.
Maximilian Fontaine had a question. Do you listen to Sabaton?
Yes, I do. Not all the time, but certain songs regularly.
I really like them, and what's funny is Amaranthine did a cover of 82nd All the Way, and Amaranthine literally has my 3 favorite types of vocalists. They have that 70s, 80s rock drawl. They have a female rock vocalist, and they have a guy who screams. And those are literally my top 3 favorite types of vocalists. Yet their version of the song I like way less.
Well, just because you like each element individually doesn't necessarily mean they're going to come together in the best way.
Oh no, I do think they come together in a very good way. I just don't think it's as good as the original.
Happens, yeah.
And I'm being kind of a dick. Murderous Kitten, I'm actually going to give half points to. Murderous Kitten did guess kind of like half the genre for me, but you got to be more specific. Murderous Kitten guessed metal. It's just more of what kind of metal.
All right. So the rest of the article leads. Here is a list of every Warhammer game, both 40K and fantasy. I could find that has been released or announced since 2014, the same year Mike started counting. So Warhammer 40, so Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon, Warhammer 40,000 Space Wolf, Warhammer 40k Carnage, Warhammer 40k Storm of Vengeance, Space Hulk Ascension, Blood Bowl Tablet, Warhammer 40k Regicide, the Horus Heresy Drop Assault, Warhammer 40k Death Watch, Tyranid Invasion, Legacy of Dorn, Herald of Oblivion, Warhammer 40k Freeblade, Blood Bowl Tool,
Jesus Christ.
Mordheim, City of the Damned, Warhammer, The End Times, Vermintide, Blood Bowl, Crunch, Warhammer Snotling Filing, Warhammer Arcane Magic, Eisenhorn, Xenos, Battlefleet Gothic Armada, Battlefleet Gothic Leviathan, Warhammer 40k Internal Crusade, Talisman, the Horus Heresy, Space Hulk, Total War Warhammer, Man of War, Corsair, Space Hulk Deathwing, the Horus Heresy, Battle of Talarn, Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 3, Warhammer 40k Sanctus Reach, Total War Warhammer 2, Warhammer Quest, Mordheim, Warband Skirmish, Warhammer Doom Wheel, Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr, Warhammer 40k Gladius, Relics of War, the Horus Heresy Legion, Space Hulk Tactics, Warhammer 40k Mechanicus, Citadel Combat Cards, Warhammer 40 Vermintide, Warhammer Vermintide 2, Blood Bowl, Death Zone, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Realm War, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Champions, Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2, Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Prophecy 2019, which is technically an expansion to 2018's Martyr, but I'm counting it because it was standalone. Warhammer Chaos Bane, Warhammer Chaos and Conquest, the Horus Heresy, Betrayal of Kalth, Necromunda Underhive Wars, Warhammer 40k, Daka Squadron, Nautica, Imperialis, Flight Command, Warhammer 40k, Battle Sister, Warhammer Quest, Silver Tower, Warhammer Underworlds Online, Adeptus Titanicus Dominus, Warhammer 40k, Lost Crusade, Warhammer 40k, Battle Sector, Warhammer 40k, Darktide, Necromunda Hired Gun, Warhammer Odyssey, Blood Bowl 3, Total War Warhammer 3, Total War Battles, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Stormground, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Tempest Fall. That's the full list.
That's a lot more than I actually thought.
I didn't recognize like a good third of those.
I didn't either. I didn't recognize like half of them.
The latter chunk are all either games that are announced or just came out. So, and
Okay,
yeah,
so
the article ends with, "This is 65 games in just 7 years. That is too many Warhammer games." Says
shut up.
who?
Well, also, it's 65 games by how many different companies?
The thing is, what is their determining factor of what is too many of something? Oh, there's too many Warhammer games. Why?
I can't count it on without taking off my shoes, so it's too many.
Like, what is their determining factor? What is the basis of the complaint?
Look, there's your drummer right there.
Just because there's so many?
Count
Just because there's so many? I mean, God forbid.
there's your drummer right there. Game journos can't count to 20 without taking off their fucking shoes.
Sweet Jesus. There's too many Warhammer games. Well, there's too many games journalists. Except the only difference is I have an actual basis for my argument. There's too many dumbasses like you who get in there in the field. They should be a lot more selective of who they allow to write articles. Hell, this isn't even an article. The guy literally just says, "Oh, a friend of mine wrote an article, says there's too many Warhammer games. There's more sense. I'm gonna add to the list," and then he lists the list, and then he just ends it with, "See, there's too many." You haven't explained at all why there's quote unquote too many.
Hey, Kotaku, I know you're not
Fucking
watching this, but in
retarded.
case you ever watch this backlogged, I will say this. Here's a tip. The reason why there are so many Warhammer games is because they like them. The reason there are so many games journos is because people are dumb and will keep hiring them. The difference is that video games, compared to game journalists, are actually useful.
Mm-hmm. Also, Ace1918 is in the chat. I've read that article and it's complete trash. Well, the thing is, you can't even call it an article. Literally, it's not even a paragraph of text saying that his friend wrote an article says that there is too many. Here's a list. He provides the fucking list. And then says, that is 65 games in just 7 years. That is too many. Elaborate. Like, you are literally paid money to write. Do your job for 5 seconds. At the very least, give me some bullshit explanation. You just said there's too many.
Well, to play devil's advocate here, not for him.
But I challenge you to provide an argument for this guy. No. No, I want you to do it. I want you to do it, but I challenge you to come up with an argument in this guy's case.
Oh no, my argument is actually against his on 65 games in 7 years being too much. My devil's advocacy is not that he's not an idiot. My argument is he's completely an idiot. My argument is devil's advocacy for the 65 games in 7 years. Let's say hypothetically they have 6 or 7 development companies doing 1 game a year, which is, still, I would say that's a little much. But, 1 year for a polished game. So
polish these days is a myth.
Yeah. You know what? I can't say shit.
I've been playing. Actually, now that I mention that, I've been playing Outriders. I don't know. Have you gotten that, or are you playing it at all?
I've been looking at it, but I don't have the time to. Dude, actually, I started a new game.
Get this. This is not an exaggeration. From a connectivity standpoint, it's worse than 76.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I
might do a video on that just to rub salt.
I've only played 9 hours. Guess how many crashes I've had?
I couldn't imagine.
I've had 12 crashes in 9 hours.
9 hours? Damn.
I've had more crashes than I've had hours playing the fucking game. Worst part is, the crashes, there's no consistency. I open a menu, close a menu, crash. Get into a boss fight, crash. Get shot at with a shotgun too close, crash. There's no there's no discernible cause that I can avoid to prevent the crash. It just dies. Like, I like the actual game when it works, but that's the problem. It needs to fucking work first.
Well, so it's like I was saying, I just got done beating Warcraft 1, and I'm not gonna fucking lie. I cheated to beat that game. Because it was cheating too, and I wanted to teach it my dick is bigger than its. And so what it would do is it would spawn units in my base. Because that's helpful when the rest of my units are fucking elsewhere.
Begone, Satan.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, look, your base is completely undefended. Your peons and buildings, and you can only select 4 troops at a time to stop me. Here's a knight. So I ended up cheating just because I was getting sick and tired of that bullshit, and it did it like the last 4 or 5 missions. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do this, and I don't really care. And that actually, because I actually have scripted the review, I was like, that was a big problem for me. You know, I love that game when I was younger, and I don't remember it doing that ever when I played it when I was younger. So maybe it's just the port or whatever. But
also, when you're a kid, like when something goes wrong, you just kind of mosey on past it.
Well, I don't remember having that many issues with it. It also could also have a lot to do with where I've been playing modern games too. The controls were clunky as hell. Everything. It's from 93, 94. I mean, of course they're going to be clunky. But I will say this. It ran smoother. Well, I mean, I have a really good rig, but it ran so much smoother than some of the other games. Like the game that I actually dread recording right now is Cyberpunk. I wasn't having any issues out of it. They did a patch, and now the audio crackles. And it's just fucking irritating.
Right.
And by the way, when I say crackles, I don't mean like it does it like once every couple of minutes. I mean, it's like a bad fucking Discord call.
Somebody with their mic like shoved up their anus.
Not even like that. No, it's more of like they have a bad connection and all they do is crackle. You still understand them, but there's this ungodly crackle over their voice every time they speak. It's that, but for every piece of audio for the game, be it dialogue, be it the music, be it ambient sounds, any of it.
We are kind of blessed with modern sound recording tech. Like,
no, I have found no way to flush that shit out either. I have looked up how to flush it out. It's like, yeah, it's as simple as changing these settings in the game. I change these settings in the game. Does dick all?
Okay.
Yeah.
AR, by the way, in response to the article earlier, AR says, a better argument is that there are too many bad or repetitive Warhammer games. That's true. Absolutely. And if that had been the argument, I'd agree with the article. But literally, the summation of the entire argument that they're setting forth is there's just too many.
Look, I have so many bad 40k game takes that's not funny. Because I'll defend Dawn of War 3. But saying because Dawn of War 3 was a critical, or was a, actually, I'm actually really curious now. I want to see something.
Ace says, you are completely right. Unfortunately, it is not the worst article I have seen a journalist make this week. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. They're journalists. They try and one-up each other every day. The problem is they don't realize they're one-upping each other in a category they don't want to be, which is low-quality, low-brow articles.
So this actually kind of surprised me. Dawn of War 3 doesn't have like mostly negative reviews; it has mixed reviews, and that kind of surprises me.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I figured it would be worse because I'm like the only motherfucker that likes the game.
No, I've come across plenty of people who said they either like it, or some people who say like, oh, you know, it's not a terrible game, just not a great 40k game. That kind of thing.
For me, you know, if you want to say like Dawn of War 3 was a bad 40k game, absolutely, I'll agree with you. If you want to say like that makes it a bad game overall, it's like, no, I've played worse RTS. I've played a lot worse RTSs. Let's not get into that one. But it's just like, you can't say that because Dawn of War 3 was a bad game, it never should have been made. Like, that is taking it a bit too far for me. I have no idea what the fuck I'm watching either. It's just like one of the demo videos on Steam. I just watched what looked like an orc, like like a wrecking ball crane.
Yeah.
It's like that, but without the wrecking ball on it. Lift up a squad of orcs and launch them. And I was thinking, yes, that looks like something the orcs would do. But oh my god, the way they did it was actually kind of funny because it's just like they're like waving in the air. It's like that is such an orky thing to do. And there's the venerable dreadnought. I have no idea what I'm watching.
I have no idea what you're watching either.
But no, so it's just it's one of those things where I did like Dawn of War 3. I did like playing it, but I do acknowledge that it was actually I would say average, but even average, I would say mediocre to average game. Because most people say mediocre, I'll say average. It's just, let's fucking kill that right now so we don't have any more arguments. But for me, it was just like, does that mean the game never should have been made? No. There were chances to fix it. They didn't. But it's one of those things where, it is what it is. It's like I've actually started playing a few new games. One of the new ones actually two new ones on my channel, because I alternate my new games now, is I alternate between Cyberpunk, Medieval Dynasty, and Valheim.
Well, have you hit a cap with Cyberpunk yet?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you hit the 100-hour mark yet?
Let me look.
Well, that's when I hit my cap.
Fuck. 101.2 hours.
You haven't reached your cap yet? Damn. You're doing something different than I did, that's for
sure. To be fair, I am playing a brawler. Hey, I pulled a hair out of my beard.
You have a beard?
I have some facial hair.
You have fuzz.
I have fuzz. I have pubic hair on my face. But no, I haven't reached a cap. I haven't seen very much in the way of like I've had no crashes. Well, no crashes that I didn't know what caused them. Like when I would alt tab off of it, that would cause a crash. So I don't consider that a crash though. That's more like I know games that are just programmed when you alt tab, they will just automatically close. So I don't really consider that one a crash. But other than that, I haven't had any gameplay crashes. The only massive irritating glitch I've come across is the audio, and that's only happened for like the past 2 months.
In terms of Cyberpunk, I had 4 consecutive crashes. I finally figured out it was apparently the way I was shooting my gun. No,
don't shoot it sideways. You're not a gangster.
I don't know. I just switched to my melee weapon and was able to get through that glitch, I guess.
Yeah. That might be why, because my character is a brawler.
I also clipped through the map twice. And
I haven't had that problem either.
Good. Have you had the screen blacking?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I had that twice. And the only other glitch to report, well, other than some audio stuff, like lines not playing. Well, I saw a car fly over me one time.
I wish I would have that glitch.
The game didn't crash, like nothing happened. It's just I saw a car just. I didn't hear it crash. I didn't hear it crash or anything. It just flew over me, and I just noted it as all right. Another day in Cyberpunk. Okay. I just kind of mosey on past that. I won't dwell.
But I've been playing Medieval Dynasty and Valheim. That's an interesting experience.
I haven't had a chance to play too much Valheim, but I enjoyed what of it I've played so far.
It's fun. Doing the first boss without knowing what the fuck I was doing was kind of exhausting. Let me see. What else? So I got Among Us. I just haven't had a chance to fucking play it. Because I don't really...
You need a squad to play.
Yeah. I don't know enough.
And I try and get my Discord to play, and we've lucked out. We've been able to have 2 decent sized games so far.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like pulling teeth to get everybody to show up. It's not as bad as trying to set up a D&D campaign, let me tell you. Like that scheduling has been a nightmare. But we finally figured out a day and a time for that.
So a couple other games I've gotten just because I wanted something a little bit different for my free time. I got Ruin Arch, which I don't know if you've seen this, but Arch did a video on it while it's still in early access, but when it was in much earlier access, you know how like when you play RimWorld or games like Colony Builders where bad shit happens to you?
Yes.
In Ruin Arch, you are the bad shit.
That sounds fun.
It is. It is absolutely fun, and my favorite one is the Lich, because you get to pick between 3 different archetypes, and my favorite one is the Lich. Because all you do is spread the plague around. I'm a horrible, horrible person. And by the way, so you spread the plague around, and certain things will make you get plague points. Like if it spreads to an actual person, you get 5 points. But you can put in different symptoms, and therefore they give you plague points just if the symptoms activate. You have sneezing, vomiting, seizures, and poison clouds. And what poison clouds is as they're walking around, poison clouds randomly spawn. And I didn't know this, but apparently poison clouds are also flammable. And I've had 3 activate in a house at one time, and the house explode. But I got Tropico 5. Didn't get anything there. Got Among Us. Yeah, that seems to be it. Also, well, I did actually get a new game for my Xbox here recently. So I don't know if you know the story about this, but I've always been kind of a zombie phobe since I was very young because my parents are assholes.
You're afraid of zombies?
Yeah. Let me start at the beginning for this one.
All right, before we get into that, though, there's a couple ats in the chat. I just wanted to get to them.
Okay.
Murder's Kitten earlier said, and I wanted to get this one before the chat overtook it. But their goal is met. He made a shitty article, and we talk about it and generate clicks revenue, so his goal is met. And I hope none of you clicked on it, but yeah, he got 1 click from me. I ain't driving home. Okay, that's something else. Ace earlier said, as around speaking of bad 40k games, did either of you try Adeptus Titanicus yet? Now that is out of early access. No, I've not even heard about anything about it.
I haven't either. I'm
also, welcome to the stream, Grim and Darcilius. Thanks for joining, guys. Pop, I live again. Anyway, hey guys, what's up?
That actually does look kind of cool. How much is it? Oh, it's only $30. That ain't bad.
He's like, Ludus, here's from Ace. It's a shitty game. Alright, where is it? Okay, yeah, ooh, looks nice. I'm gonna get that.
No, it looks like a cross between like Mech Warrior and X. It looks like It honestly looks like BattleTech, but with Titans.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks like a really cool concept. I'm not saying it is cool. I'm saying it looks cool.
Alright.
Yeah, this essentially looks like fucking BattleTech with Titans.
Let's see. The last one is Ezragon. You want hard? Try organizing a Heart of Iron 4 historical game. And I don't even play that, so I can imagine it's difficult to get a group together for that.
I have found a reason to get this game. Not that I really needed much of one. It's fucking BattleTech with Titans. But you can have Chaos. You can have Chaos Titan Legions.
Gives you motivation for sure.
Yes, it does.
Grim says a Warhammer 40k VR MMO game, sort of like SAO in World of Warcraft. Discuss.
What was this? I meant a Warhammer 40k VR MMO team.
Sort of like SAO and World of Warcraft. So, like SAO in the sense of being able to dive in full body, stuff like that? Or...
Congratulations, you've just given all 40k fans fucking PTSD.
And the thing is, I don't know any 40k fan who would elect to play an SAO-esque aspect of that. Be able to dive full in and have like sensation and be alive in the world of 40k. No. Can you imagine being on the ground with a freaking
The body horror would be so real.
And getting kidnapped by Dark Eldar, or being attacked by Tyranid high fleets, or coming to bust your fucking face in, Necrons disintegrating parts of your body, and then proceeding to kill you. And
I don't even fucking get into Chaos Cultists.
There's such a laundry list. Again, every other fandom is like, would you like to live in the fictional universe of your favorite fiction? Yeah, I would love to go into Konoha, Naruto, or I would love to live in Marvel's Avengers universe and have a superpower. Every 40K fan? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll enjoy watching from a distance. I don't need to go there.
I just want to say, you fucking weeb.
Oh yeah.
You want to go to Konoha from Naruto?
You think I'm a weeb? Talk to Arctic. He literally showed us. He was wearing the Ahegao. He was wearing the Ahegao sweatshirt when we were on call the other day, and he also showed us an anime figurine statue he had that he was petting its head. So you think I'm a weeb? I don't even have any of that shit.
I put the meme up in our chat.
Yes, sorry, Arctic. I'm throwing shade. Just saying. I am a minute weeb by comparison.
So let's say I'm gonna take this in two different directions.
Oh, we got a super chat. Hold on, I'm assuming that's through. We get them so rarely, so I always forget to pull it up.
Through Streamlabs.
Yeah, thank you, by the way, through a person who chose to do that through Streamlabs. That's very generous of you.
I keep trying to click on it in the center thing, and it's on the YouTube stream. I'm like, why won't it let me click? Oh yeah, I'm retarded.
Oh right, it's something. All right, pulling it up. Alright, Magos Crixus, thank you for the super generous donation, man. CA5. California dollar, I'm assuming that's what that is. California $5. Canadian $5. Hey guys, I don't like the Ultra Smurfs because of how overused they are. But other than that, and the Primaris, I don't hate them as a Legion. But I don't read many 40k books, so I ask, are there more reasons you hate them? Or is it just overexposure? I hate the overexposure is definitely a big one. The other contributing factors to why I hate the Ultra Smurfs includes lore, Imperial Secundus. Anybody that I hate them for that. On top of how Rogel Dorn implemented the Codex Astartes, how he treated how I fucked that up royally. How did I that is a sin. I now need to kill myself. That was. How did I fuck up that name? Okay.
Do it.
Robot Girly Man fucked with Rogel Dorn. How that went down, and how he implemented the Codex Astartes, and how he bullied Rogel Dorn. Robot Girly Man. How that whole thing went down. I forever hate the Ultra Smurfs and their Big Daddy Smurf. May the greatest sin in the lore is that Girly Man never got labeled a traitor. Fuck him.
I'll say
thoroughly. Also, my least favorite color is blue. Specifically, Ultra Smurf blue. For me, it's like bold sees red. I fucking hate that color. I hate blue so goddamn much. I hate that color so fucking much. I don't know why, but I do. I like reds, I like blacks, I like greens, I like yellows, oranges. I like every other spectrum of color. Blues, I fucking hate blue. I can't explain why. It's just a color that vexes me greatly. So that on top of the lore and on top of their overexposure, those are the three. I hate them on pretty much every avenue thoroughly. But thank you for the super chat.
Shit, now I have to figure this one out. So for me, it's more of the Ultramarines are kind of weird for me because most legions, with the exception of the Word Bearers, I like a lot of their lore, but hate certain parts. But the Ultramarines and Word Bearers are the complete opposite for me. I hate most of their lore and just like certain parts.
Yeah, by the way, James Mackin, my microphone is, the camera is actually, this is where the saturation of the camera color is a bit wrong. It's not like a brighter blue like you guys see on the screen. It's more like a pale blue-gray. So, thankfully, this isn't a bright blue, and I can tolerate it. I do hate blue, though. It is my least favorite fucking color. I hate that color so much.
Mega said, and here I am, my favorite color is blue, LOL, thanks for the answer. So for me, it's more... It's more of a complicated answer with the Ultramarines. I really do hate the idea behind the Codex of Stardays. I mean, let me correct that. I like the idea behind it. I hate the way they implemented it. Because it was kind of the way of saying, hey, what we did didn't work, so let's try something completely different. But what they did was really stupid. Oh, look, Wolflord wants to start his shit. I mean, Dragonis, at least they were loyal till the very end. And not pissing on trees.
Yeah. And to elaborate as well on the situation with, for those who don't know, the lore, I did say that earlier, assuming everybody knew. For those who don't know about Imperial Secundus, it's basically during the Horus Heresy, Rogel Dorn pussed out. I keep fucking doing that. Why? Rogel Dorn's my favorite Primarch. I keep putting his name over Girly Man's in my head.
Because you talk more about Dorn than Gilliman.
That might be why. Like, it's instinctually I want to talk about Dorn, and I keep... But when I have to talk about Girly Man, my brain is like, no, like, don't do that.
Before you go on, check out the chat.
Fucking did that again. Fucking hell. I'm gonna blow my brains out after this.
Look what Mer's getting to say before you go on.
If I ever have enough money, I will gift you a car and paint it Ultra Blue, and I will burn the car. You will have wasted your fucking money. Hello, Gavin Isaacs. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, for those who don't know, I'm gonna say it again. Robot Girly Man, the bitch boy Ultra... I'm just gonna call him the Ultra Smurf King. The Ultra Smurf King, as we all know him. Papa Smurf. He basically bitched out during the Horus Heresy, gave the fuck up, and said, we're starting the new Imperium.
Well, if I remember right, that wasn't necessarily on him, because the realms of Ultramar were completely surrounded by the ruins.
No, they were. It's not that there was no explanation, but for me, he still gave up too easily. And pretty much it came down to, we can't contact Terra. Okay, well, then we give up. That's what it came out to. He didn't actually take time to contact Terra.
But they also couldn't see the Astronomicon either.
Yeah, that's not a reason to immediately assume that the Imperium has fallen.
No, but I do agree with you that he probably should have done that, but I also understand why he did that, because it's the kind of thing of like, worst case scenario, we are going to need something in place. It would be bad if we have nothing in place and was just running around. So,
yeah, but to immediately jump to Imperial Secundus.
Yeah, I think it was, again, same thing with the Codex. It was a good idea of, hey, we fucked up by doing the same thing, so let's try something completely different. It's just that something completely different was worse.
Now, I don't have a problem with Imperial Secundus if Terra had actually fallen.
Right.
Robot Girliam had actually taken extreme efforts to confirm Terra had fallen and the Emperor had died, which he didn't do. And he just jumped to conclusions just based off of minimal information.
Smart thing he did do with Imperium Secundus, though, is he essentially gave most of the control over to Sanguinius.
That was the only good call he made during that.
Well, they also ruled it as a triumvirate between Sanguinius himself and the Lion, who is quickly becoming one of my least favorite Primarchs as well. I'm really starting not to like him.
He's one of the ones I know the least about, but I know enough about the Dark Angels not to like them, so...
my least favorite as far as the Primarchs have definitely got to be like Lorgar, Angron. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to have to throw the Lion there too, because the Lion really did just choose to be loyal because Horus turned traitor. Because he had that much of a hate boner for Horus, and it's like, fucking really? I mean, that's not the only reason, but that had a lot to do with it. He's like, wait a minute, I get to become War Master now? Goes to fucking Dorne. He's like, bitch, what? I love how the Lion kept getting screwed over because he was just essentially asking for it at that point.
Yeah. Also, Imperial Secundus aside, that's, I guess, arguable. What's not for me, and I can't see how anyone can argue this, is how Girly Man treated Dorne and the Imperial. So Girly Man is like, oh, the Imperium didn't fall. Oh, the Emperor died after I already thought he was dead and gave up on him. Okay. Well, that means I'm suddenly entitled to plop my ass down on the figurative throne of Terra and say, I'm in charge now. Even though Rogel Dorn was named Praetorian of the Imperium, but... Nah, that's doesn't count. I'm Gilliman. I still have a right to have my ass on this throne. And now that I'm here... wait, we still haven't agreed that you're in charge. Now that I'm here, in charge... None of you can disagree with me. I have the biggest legion left. That's because you did the least amount of fighting, because you guys pussed out and gave up. Now, as the leader and as the biggest dick in the room... well, that's, again, arguable. The Space Wolves can still kick your ass. I mean, yeah, you might have bigger numbers, but... they're also crazier than you. So now, I, Gilliman, declare that you all must follow my rulebook that I wrote like a day ago.
I love the fact that
was
an argument with Russ in the room. Look, I will say this. Here's another reason to hate Russ and his fucking wolves. If that was the case and Gilliman actually did that, then that means Russ and his wolves cucked to the Ultra Smurfs, okay? If that is the case, and they didn't really completely bend to the Codex, they accepted its existence, they just don't fucking follow it. If Russ didn't stand up to Gilliman taking that power, then he fucking cucked to him, and he's a giant floppy pussy.
I'd have to agree in that sense, yeah. If I am going to throw any shade at the Space Wolves, it is definitely there. Shame on Russ for not kicking that little
there's
bitch,
a lot more to throw.
that little bitch Smurf boy off his fucking high horse and say, nah. The Emperor named Dorne the Praetorian. His ass is on that throne. You are gonna sit there and be a good little bitch Smurf and kowtow to the new order of things. Hell, the only reason Dorne didn't himself kick Gilliman off of that fucking high horse is because his own legion had been heavily wounded. He was depressed because he considered the loss of the Emperor and Sanguinius to be his fault.
Yep. Which
I don't agree with. So that's the only reason he didn't stand up to Gilliman as well. And extra shame on that bitch Smurf for taking advantage of Dorne's weakness and shame. It's just such a petty act. Thank you for the super chat, AR. Thank you. He is literally Space Caesar and is written as such and acts as such. It's a good thing he is the Primarch to come back and the best to run everything.
No, bullshit.
Bull fucking shit. Thank you for the super chat. Bullshit. I do not agree. Gilliman is a fucking idiot. And the day he dies is a good day. It's a very good day. He's a very good... He's the biggest hypocrite in the galaxy. He's totally full of shit.
He is literally the arch traitor. You know, people.
He's a traitor. He's a far worse traitor than Horus even was. Horus at least had the excuse he was corrupted and manipulated by chaos. Gilliman just ditched.
Well, no, I'll give Horus even more credit than that. So, and again, this mostly has a lot to do with I love chaos, and I love the idea of like the major flaw in these supposedly unflawed characters.
See you later, Dustilius. Thank you for joining the stream, man.
Yep. But with Horus, he actually had a reasonable excuse. He thought that, the Emperor was just using them and was going to throw them away. And he was shown something that almost proved this. And again, I hate doing this, and Asmogon's going to get my ass about this one again. In Arch's video on false gods,
you are like the ultimate you're the fuck, what's that position called? You're the ultimate propagandist for Arch.
It's because I do enjoy the way he words things, and this is one of those times.
No, I get that, but you always cite him.
I can't help it. I can't take credit for this, because even though I agree with it, even if I say it, this is not where I heard it from. And I always try and give credit where credit is due. Horus knew the Chaos Gods were lying to him. He knew there was only a half-truth. The problem is he guessed wrongly on which half of it was true and which one was the lie. So he was already having his issues of abandonment. He was having issues with his self-esteem because he had committed 2 great failures up to this point. One led to the death of one of his most favorite sons, Hastus or Janus, and the other one was when he met the Interrex. He was interested in learning, like, hey, how do y'all interact so closely with these aliens? We just essentially go around burning the motherfuckers to the ground. How do we get that way of peace? And of course, Erebus fucked that up. But Horus saw that as his failure. And those just compounded with his abandonment, and he saw that as it helped leading to, hey, the Emperor's just using us and going to throw us away like trash. When he was shown the scene of the Shrine World, where it had the Emperor surrounded by the 9 loyalist Primarchs, and not him, not Fulgrim, not Angron, not Mortarion, not Kurz, he's like, wait a minute, where are they? Where am I? What the hell's going on here? And I'm not going to fault Horus for falling the way he did, because they found the perfect chink in his armor. What Guilliman did was be a sneaky little cunt and do it subversively by, okay, so we have Imperium Secundus. Well, that kind of worked. Let's do it with the whole Imperium. And he wrote a book that he eventually got everyone to follow. Well, most everyone to follow. Black Templars and Space Wolves excluded, and some other chapters. But for the most part, the Imperium as a whole follows the Codex Astartes. In fact, that's something that is brought up in different conflicts, especially when Astartes turn is, oh, you're going against the Codex. Like, fuck you. So it's something that has become so ingrained in the Imperium that it was a good idea at first, because even Guilliman says in the beginning, it's just guidelines. You don't follow it. Like, it's not the 40K version of the Bible. You don't follow it letter to letter. It is just guideline. And then he goes and takes a 10,000 year nap because he's a little bitch and got taken out by Fulgrim. And they took it literally. And when he comes back, he doesn't fix that. He doesn't fix the state the Imperium's in. He doesn't even try and do any of this shit. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. It's burning to the ground. I'll just watch it.
Also add in the level of hypocrisy that the Primaris represents.
Let's not get into the Primaris. Well,
because keep in mind, his whole codex was about limiting the number of groups of Astartes to prevent chaos corruption. Meanwhile, he is literally artificially creating super space marines in mass.
I will say that I don't have as big of a problem with the Primaris. I just have a massive problem with how they were implemented.
I have well, yeah, that's the same issue I have, but that's part of their implementation, is they didn't factor in that level of hypocrisy that Guilliman was operating under to dare tell the other legions, you now have to split up into no more than 1,000, no more than
1,000 brothers.
Yeah, sorry, I almost said 10,000. I was going to correct it. I don't know why I almost said 10,000, because I was like, wait, that is so wrong.
I know the answer, but This will show that I have the ultimate in 30k knowledge.
You know the answer to what?
Why, or at least I have a reasonable. You should say that this is the reason is because when the original legions were formed at the very beginning, they were 10,000.
That might be why. Yeah. I don't know. That in my brain
Take
today is not. That in my brain today isn't working at 100%.
Yeah. So also,
I'm operating off of 3 hours of sleep and a coffee and soda. So.
Yeah, so I'm also, as we had already done this at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to apologize because we are completely off our game here because we were both running on minimal sleep. Only on caffeine at this point.
And we didn't pre-plan today at all.
No, we did. We just decided, we come in here and have some fun with the audience, have some fun with each other. And, hey, every one of these once in a while is actually kind of awesome. But it's just best. Like, you're not you are not prepared. I was thinking actually right before we started this when you hit me up about redoing my World of Warcraft subscription just so I could play WoW Classic. And I was like, I don't play it enough and I don't have fucking enough time to. Draconis Wolflord said, I will say the Space Wolves, Blood Angels, White Scars, Imperial Fist, and Raven Guard, I like that name for them now, we're all pretty beaten up because all of them have fought the traitors. The Smurfs pretty much had a full legion. Yeah, we made that argument earlier. Biggest hypocrisy of Girly Man is that before Primaris Marines get in Space Marine chapters, they are fighting in a Legion-sized army. That's not his biggest hypocrisy, but that's definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
As we got 2021 Rogel Dorn's Codex started.
Now that you say that, though, imagine a codex written by Dorn. That would be an awesome codex. It fucking would be amazing. You know how many strategies and procedures he would put in place for defensive emplacements across the Imperium? Casualties would be fractional in Guilliman's Imperium.
Okay, so here, let me explain why. Okay, this is one where I think if the Codex Astartes were to be implemented correctly, that Guilliman would actually be the best one to write it if it were implemented correctly, which it wasn't. Here's why.
Well, the thing is, even he didn't go about implementing it correctly.
Right. No, but that's my point.
He also didn't do anything to... everyone always, especially Ultramarine fans, never, ever confront this point.
Hopefully we'll have one on soon, and we'll get to see how that goes.
Guilliman was willing to start a second fucking civil war to implement this codex. No Smurf Boy fanboys have ever provided me a adequate explanation or excuse for that. The closest I've heard to a halfway decent argument is someone said, "Oh well, he wouldn't have actually done it though." Like if the war had actually started, that was exactly what I told the guy. I went, no, he would have been willing to go through the Civil War. It wasn't a bluff. He wasn't bullshitting. He was fully willing to start a second Civil War immediately after the first, just to implement that BS codex.
I will say
he had no hesitation in his heart, and Rogel Dorn is the superior Primarch and superior man because he looked at that, he knew what his brother was willing to do and destroy the Imperium just to implement his selfish codex, that he decided for the sake of it, not only his own men, but the Imperium as a whole, to step down. Dorn was more of a man and had 20 times the balls that Gilman wishes he had to be able to accept that he has no choice but to submit to this bitch because he has more men because he was a coward who hid in the corner during the heresy. Dorn made the right call, but he was forced to. Total bullshit. But yeah, that's a very good explanation of why I hate the Ultra Smurfs and hate Guilliman. If anyone was wondering.
Why Guilliman was actually the best choice to write it, again with different implementation, is because his Legion was the most jack of all trades Legion. They really did have the solution for everything. Dorn, not so much. Dorn was great at defense. He was the best at defense.
Which is what the
But
Imperium needed more than anything after the heresy.
I disagree.
No, they were in no shape to go on the offensive.
Well, no, but they would be eventually. So they should have, like, okay, so yeah, we do need defense now, but we will need offense to keep these people, to push them back into their own sectors.
And this is where I think Rogel Dorn's non-douchebag approach to things would have also helped. He would have worked with someone like Lehman Russ, who is an offense specialist, to implement an offensive strategy.
Right.
Gilliman was too up on his high horse to work with others. He was, I'm in charge, I make the call. He's not going to workshop with his brothers to figure out an effective strategy.
Right, but that's why I'm saying is that it's the difference of Gilliman writing the book by himself as opposed to Dorn writing the book, and after the book's already written, hey, Russ, what do you think about, eventually attacking people? And then he's just sitting there drilling in the corner, pissing on trees. So, not much of an answer. But that's where the smartest comment earlier, Wolf Lord. But no, so I mean, it's one of those things. The Imperium needs the jackassery of the Lion. No, they fucking don't. I will say this: I will give the Lion a little bit of credit. Had he been the one to come back, the Dark Angels would not have been as fucked as they are now. The Dark Angels are the ultimate in traitor legions.
Again, they're the ones I know the least about. I know enough about them to have an opinion, but that's about it.
Their kill list has got to be equal at this point.
And there's a lot of subversion, a lot of BS that goes on in their internal chapter politics. Yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of BS that goes on there.
By the way, for people who don't know, I have a video coming out. Oh man, I have to look. Again, I'm way overworked at my full-time job. So, it comes out not today, but tomorrow. I'm working on an alternate heresy series if the traitors and loyalists were flipped. And this one is the Zinch video, and I was between the Raven Guard and the Dark Angels. And as I started digging into it, I started laughing my ass off because it went hands down to the Dark Angel. It was so hard to make an argument for the Raven Guard compared to them. Like, here's something actually kind of cool. Did you know the Dark Angels psychers specialize in torture?
Doesn't surprise me.
Fuck it. Like, there's psychers specialize in just fucking with people's minds, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's got to be Dark Angels. Although I'm having a hard time seeing the Dark Angels as a demon Primarch of Zinch. Why Conrad of all people? What? I don't know what that's referring to.
Earlier comment. Gilliman should publish the book. Conrad should have written it and have Vulcan be the editor.
Why Conrad of all people? Because Conrad is cool. No, Conrad is fucking insane.
I do also want to point out that AR, a self-admitted fanboy of the Ultramars, didn't provide an argument for Gilliman being willing to start a second civil war. Like I said, they either like conveniently sidestep that, like, I'm still an Ultra fanboy. It's like, oh yeah, but he didn't answer the question. It's like, well, Gilliman is in this situation. No, okay, this situation. No. Well, over there, later in the lore, it's always like, let's not look at this. It's kind of like the journalists going, mostly peaceful protests with buildings on fire in the background.
Yeah.
Not going too much down that road. Just saying.
Oh, real quick.
Sidestep like a master.
Something I touched on earlier, the zombophobe thing.
Right.
So, you've seen the movie Heavy Metal, yeah?
Yes?
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Well, I think I do, but at the same time, I'm not sure.
It's an animated movie from the 80s. You would know exactly what I'm talking about.
Movie.
It's from 1981. It's 10 years older than me.
I've seen clips from this movie, yeah, but I haven't actually watched it.
Okay, I will say now it's actually kind of a good movie. There's still one scene that kind of fucks me up, and it's the scene that made me a zombophobe. So first off, I watched this movie when I was 4. It's like a time jumping horror / porno movie. It was made in 81, so everything was a porn back then, essentially, except for the music, and even then, kind of half and half. I watched it when I was 4, and there's this scene of a World War II bomber going down in a jungle, and this green orb of evil. It's close to a Carnith Corn. At least every other not scene, but every other segment has something to do with like gratuitous sex. But in the one I'm talking about, the World War II bomber goes down in a jungle, and the evil green orb that lives through time turns the airmen into zombies, and they start killing each other in zombie ways. So that kind of
Eating each other. Mm.
What? Yes.
Is
On
another
screen.
zombie. So that scarred you for life.
Yes, it did. So I don't know if you know the full story to this. Someone who does deserve a little bit of credit for this is Kibbs. Kibbs got me into the game State of Decay 2. And for those of you who don't know, it's a base management game set in the zombie apocalypse. So I focus more on like the base and resource management and stuff like that. But now I'm on the second hardest difficulty.
Wait, hold on. AR has pulled his argument for Guilliman being in the right for the Second Civil War. Where Dorn is screaming at the battlements for Perturabo to fight him still canon. He's referring to the Iron Cage lore. I hate to remind you and every Ultra Smurf fanboy, but the Iron Cage incident happened after Dorn had pretty much agreed to submit to the Codex Astartes.
No, it's in 2 parts. Because that's my excuse for the Codex Astartes, and the Second Civil War is old lore, and is yet to be seen what happened at the Siege of Terra or after, and what goes down once the Imps gets put on the throne. Okay, so here's the thing, and by the way, I'm not a fan of the Imperial Fist, and I'm not a fan of the Ultra Smurfs. I have no skin in this game at all. So Papa Smurf puts in his Codex Astartes, and to prove his point to Dorn, lets Dorn get the ever-loving shit kicked out of him by Perturabo at the Iron Cage. And he comes in, he's like, see, look, my book is right. Ha ha ha, you fucked up, bitch. And that's a bullshit thing to do. But in addition to that, even before, when he was first suggesting the book, he was willing to fight to make it happen. And I believe it was Dorn, Russ, I can't remember who the third one was, but I remember there being a third one. I want to think it was the Khan, but I'm probably wrong. Was it the Khan? Who were the 3 that detracted from it, that didn't want it?
The Khan, Dorn, and Russ were the ones who weren't.
I couldn't remember if it was the Khan or not. Because it was Vulcan, Korax, and... Fuck, who was the last one? No. Khan was for it. It was the Lion who was against it. Or am I getting that backwards?
I always thought the Khan opposed it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Lion was for it.
Again, I could be wrong. That's why I'm actually going to look this up now. Because Horus Heresy, Siege of Terra... Okay, so that's not going to tell me fucking anything. Codex.
The Khan was pro Codex? That surprises me.
That surprises me too, because that really doesn't seem like something he would be for. History. Okay. The initial inspiration. Show me who was for and against it, damn it.
It's not that simple.
No, it's fucking not.
It's gotta have its spiel first.
It really
anyway,
does.
The Iron Cage incident, though, was not before. It was before the Codex was implemented, but it was not before Dorn had decided to submit to it.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me, is that with the Codex of Stardust, like I said, I do think Gilliman was the right one to write it. I think what he did was really shitty, and that proves that he is absolutely... He should be labeled the Arch Traitor, not Horus.
And being willing to start a second civil war immediately after the first? Yeah.
And I believe the two legions that lost their Primarchs, being the Blood Angels and the Iron Hands, both did support the Codex of Stardust. But that... Well, Homan, that's not entirely true. The Iron Hands supported it, but they don't really fucking follow it. Because they don't really have one chapter master. They have the Iron Council.
Mm-hmm. And but as I must also explain, the whole reason Dorn took on the Iron Cage was because he knew his legion would be butchered by it. He was a suicide mission. Where the common discussion happens is, did Dorn intend to go there for everyone to die? Like, did he want to die with his legion? Or did he go there just to cut down his numbers? That's typically where the argument is. But either way, Dorn went there. After the Ultramarines decided, oh shit, they're willing to commit suicide rather than follow my code. Well, that's going to look bad for me, so I got to save them. I got to prevent them from dying, because if they die because they don't want to submit to my codex, that's just going to create problems for me. So Gilliman was like, I got to save his ass. So they save in massive air quotes the Imperial Fists, and Dorn immediately after getting saved is like, all right, we submit to your fucking codex. Now fuck off.
Pretty much.
And then immediately just goes to Sigismund and went, all right, you and these 1,000 fuckers, get the fuck out. You guys are all Black Templars. You and your group, you're another chapter. You and your group, you're another chapter. Fuck off.
I'm curious. Actually, I'm probably going to just Google this one, because I know it's not going to be on second founding.
James Mack says, the ultimate defense of Gilliman, GW will retcon it so Dorn is in the wrong, making... Well, yeah. At the end of the day, that's the truth. Because they got to whack off to that Ultramarine shit.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought it was more than that.
What?
At the second founding, they only sired 3 chapters. Oh, here we go. While many Primarchs welcome the adoption of the Codex of Stardust, okay, I was wrong. It was Russ, Dorn, and Vulcan who were against it, and Korak...
Vulcan was against... What?
And Gilliman who were for it.
Wait, whoa. Vulcan was against the Codex.
That's right. Yeah, he was against it because he thought it would split up his legion too small and he wouldn't be able to survive. So Gilliman ended up...
sense when you put in that.
Gilliman ended up telling him, like, no, I'll make
I was going by personality-wise. I didn't think...
I know, right? That's
I don't... Personality-wise, it doesn't make sense for Vulcan to oppose.
Yeah, I was like, wait, hold up.
Okay, no, but with that, yeah, with how much their numbers got butchered, yeah, that does make sense.
Oh no, it's more than 3. Okay, it's the Black Templars, Crimson Fists, Excoriators, Iron Knights, and the Fist Exemplar.
I always forget about the Excoriator. How is that spelled? Excoriators?
God damn it, I just closed it.
Can't fucking spell that shit.
Fuck you! You did that on purpose. Excoriator. EXCORIATORS. They actually look like they would be White Scar's descendant, honestly.
And there are some fishy-looking successors of certain chapters that look nothing like the chapter that sired them, so, yeah.
Look at that emblem and tell me they don't look like they're fucking White Scars.
Did you link it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very White Scar-esque. The symbol is definitely fist, but the color scheme is White Scar.
The white with the bold red and the yellow background, yeah. Okay, so again, for the third time, the zombie-phobe thing.
Alright.
We're gonna keep bumping off this topic, I know. So Kibbs ended up getting me into State of Decay 2, which again, based in resource management and the zombie apocalypse, really kind of cool. So hopefully I have it in the process where we're gonna have a guest who is also an Ultramarines fan, who is another YouTuber that I actually really like.
I already ordered a muzzle for myself to that way when he's on, I'll just have a rubber band against my wrist, and every time I want to like rant, I'll just
Why? Because I fuck with all the space people who like space.
Okay. He's like, oh, Gilliman is such a great Primarch. He's so smart.
No, he doesn't say that. He does not say that. He's not one of the Ultramarines fanboys. He actually does have Yes, his is more of the analogy of the Ultramarines, not what the Ultramarines actually are.
Okay. I'll get along with them better then.
Or at least from what I understand, because like the way they have that structure and everything, that's what he likes about them. It's not necessarily the Ultramarines themselves, but he does also like the Emperor's Children, which is kind of weird.
Like it's a very odd combo: Ultramarines and Emperor's Children. Right. Okay.
I don't honestly get that, but at the same time, I'm like, I do kind of get it at the same time because the Emperor's Children, before they were corrupted, also had that level of order. But he also likes how freaking weird they get too. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get it. But no, so I've been watching a lot of his stuff. He does State of Decay videos, and he actually just started a new series on Dead Island. And I've been watching that. To the point where after he got so far into it, I was like, you know what, I want to give this a try. This will let everyone know how big of a Jew I am. And I can say that and get away with it too. They have the Dead Island Definitive Edition for Xbox up, or the Definitive Collection, which is supposed to be like $50. I got it for $6 on sale. It was 80% off. I was like, oh, mine. So I've been playing that. I've been playing State of Decay 2, Dead Island, and I'm about ready to finish the second season of The Walking Dead.
You're actually watching The Walking Dead now?
I am actually watching The Walking Dead.
I stopped watching after I don't remember the season number, and the way I usually remember it would be a spoiler for you, so
I just started watching it, and I'm already at the end of season 2. So
that means you're on the Green Family Farm?
Yes.
Okay.
Dale just died. I love the fact that Carl blamed himself for that too, by the way.
I wonder why.
That was actually that was a really good part of the first 2 seasons for me.
I will warn you, this is my opinion, of course, you may have a different one. I think the show peaks around season 3 or 4.
I've seen a lot of people say it peaks around season 3.
Yeah.
Although I can't wait to get to season 8 or 9.
I will not comment.
I can't wait to see the Whisperers.
I will not comment.
Well, no, because one of my favorite actors is one of the Whisperers.
I'll not comment. Hold back the rage.
Dragonus Wolflord, worst zombie series in existence. They should all be dead. Yes, but you like the Space Wolves, so as far as I'm concerned, hey, that means it's probably a good series.
Yeah, actually, I know this is incredibly random, but one thing I wanted to start...
like nothing we've done today has been.
We're always random as fuck. One thing I wanted to start implementing on these is have a guest call system.
Wait a minute.
You know how on radio shows they take guest callers?
Yeah, that won't be that hard to set up.
Well, no, especially with Discord.
Yeah. If you want, do you have a stream only thing in your Discord?
No, but I can make one.
Yeah, it's not that hard. I have one. Look, if my dumbass can set it up, you can too.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
that would
exactly
actually
how to go about it.
that'd be really cool, but you know what would happen to be like many people getting on like you fucking Thousand Suns lover always making fun of the Space Wolf.
How dare you? Committing a sin against humanity.
Hey, Thousand Suns were always more loyal than the fucking Space Wolves.
Alright, actually, let me try and set up a couple call lines right now. I think the way to go about it is you can limit, like, how many people can enter the call.
Well, my suggestion would be this. Is set up one where, like, only me and you can see it and get into it.
Mm.
And then, like, have people jump into, like, Sleeper's Den or General 2 and then just pull them into it. That's how I've always done it.
Okay.
Because that way you don't have to limit how many people you can do. You do it one at a time. So that way it's not like 4 or 5 people talking all over.
Alright. Hold on, let me...
Space Wolves deserve to be made fun of. That's what they would want. Thank you, Carneth Corn. Look, the Space Wolves are so trash. When I did the alternate heresy, I couldn't even give them the corn.
That means I have to give you a new role, though.
Okay.
Hold on, let me... thankfully, I'm good. I'm pretty efficient at making these. Entertain the chat while I do this.
Okay.
Or just tell me what they're saying so I can comment while I do this.
Well, I did just told you Carneth Corn was making fun of the Space Wolves, and I jumped on that one way harder than I probably should have. Jackson, hey, just woke up. What I missed? Not much. We're both very sleep deprived, and yeah, we didn't really come up with any topics for this one, so we're just kind of doing Q&A and stuff like that. We've both had an interesting week.
I'll put you right there.
I think I have to move this. Yeah, there we go. Oh, cool. Ah! No, not there. Not there. Fuck! Why won't you stay fucking still?
I don't know.
I'm yellow now.
Yes.
I'm yellow and my role is Ludus. That's great.
I'm making it real quick. This is just shoddy and quick.
Did you ever hate yourself through a game? Do you mean, do I hate...
Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. I accidentally clicked on the new... I was trying to edit it, so... clicked on our new call thing, but I gotta still set it up.
No, he's back. We're trying... He's trying to set it up so people can join the call. And actually, that's a really good idea.
Setting callers.
I'm surprised we didn't think that up earlier. We think it up when we're both completely sleep deprived, not when we're like... Oh, no, now I see why they're saying, and he's gone. I'm gone. I'm gone on the stream. That's what it was.
Yeah, because when I disconnected, you accidentally disconnected, so...
Oh.
Carry on, we're reconnected, so...
So, yeah, I again, Carneth Corn, I would need you to elaborate a little bit more on that one.
Okay. Alright, so let's set up.
Oh, when you use your hate to finish a game. Have you been watching my Warcraft 1 playthrough? I literally got so pissed that I out-cheated a cheating game. He made me yellow.
Yes, I did. I made you yellow.
He made me yellow.
Alright, there we go. Alright, so I think I did that right. So me and you should be able to see the stream call in that and caller lines. Nobody else should be able to see it. So can anyone in the chat confirm they cannot see it?
I'll also type it in the Discord.
That way we can accept some callers.
I have an at. Why do I have an at? Oh, I gotta level. I gotta level up for asking a question.
Hey, I got a quest for everybody. You level up.
Yeah,
awesome.
No
This keeps happening.
We will figure this out eventually.
Eventually. Alright, can I pop you out? Yes, I can.
We are not smart enough to be doing this right now.
Alright. Think we're good there.
Then I think they all see the call line.
Alright, everybody sees call line. Okay, good. So if anyone wants to hop on and do a cool, ask us 1 or 2 questions and basically have like a radio show caller line thing, hop into call line if you're interested in that over on the Discord. For those of you who are not on the Discord who want to join for this express purpose, I will generate a link. Hold on. And I will add it to the chat. You're watching the stream. Did my Discord...
Yeah,
it's visible? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Alrighty then. Right.
Look, it's not because we're American. It's because we're sleep deprived.
I didn't really fail at it. I got it set up.
Yeah, and again, I worked 40 hours last week. I'm scheduled 50 this week. And I know I'm going to murder someone by the end of the week. Oh, yeah, so you might get a kick out of this, Asmagon. Day before yesterday, the first thing I come into is a cook on his day off. A cook on his day off in the kitchen arguing with the server who they had just broken up.
Like, broke it up as in dating?
Yes. They dated for 3 weeks, and then he broke up with her. He was on his day off in the kitchen and decided to pick a fight. Those two decided to fight in the kitchen right as I'm walking into it.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, you two, knock it the fuck off right now. Like, you know we're not supposed to do this shit.
It's like high school drama.
Yes, it really fucking is. Oh, yeah, so... I actually made a joke. Here's my bad joke of the day. Space Wolf. The actual joke is, so we have 2 doors into our kitchen. One where people walk in to come into the kitchen to grab their stuff and walk back out. And the other one, they walk out with their stuff. Okay? And they are called the indoor and the outdoor. Because we have some people that if we overcomplicated it too much, they wouldn't understand what the doors were. So I told the general manager this, and are you a big Prince fan?
Not really.
Okay. In 1985, Prince predicted one of the problems we would have at our restaurant in his music video for Raspberry Beret. And the general manager looked at me like I was insane. In fact, everyone I told this joke to looked at me like I was insane. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, well, one of the lines is, and she walked in through the outdoor. Never mind. I hate you all. The reason you don't do that is because we have like these really hot ass skillets. So if you run into one of them, you're going to get a really bad burn. So that's why you walk in through the indoor and out through the outdoor. But we have people who are either unwilling or unknowledgeable enough to do that.
One could say ignorant.
I'm trying to be nice about it. I mean, no one watches these streams because this is also on your channel and not on mine. But I don't want that to come back and bite me in the ass.
Every day. My streams and videos come back to bite me. Sometimes in good ways, sometimes in bad ways. Let's see the chat. So,
if anyone is interested, join the call line. That way, I shut the fuck up.
yep. And
I love how the first word you say is yep.
I didn't mean it like that, but
yep. Well, fuck.
That came out wrong.
Like, oh, so many things in life. Oh, wait. We're not supposed to talk about that on stream.
Jesus Christ. I fucking hate people who on purpose break rules out of convenience. Yeah.
It's not even out of convenience. It's just more of...
I had some people on the Discord who did that a little while back. Had to ban them, unfortunately.
They see it not necessarily as convenience. They just see it as unimportant. Now, I have been burned with a skillet before. I have been burned with... I had someone come out with a bowl of pasta and put that whole bowl of pasta on my chest because they were coming out through the wrong door. And so yeah, it's one of those things where like you can get seriously hurt doing that shit. Now, fortunately, I'm kind of a tough son of a bitch, honestly. To give you an idea, our skillets are cast iron. We used to heat them up, and if we would forget about them, they would change color from that, cast iron black to glowing ass red. I am one of only 2 people I know of that would pull them off with their bare hands. So heat was not really a problem for me. We would just sit there like flick and put it on the burn board and then just put it up.
What's that smell? Oh, Lotus is just on fire.
Actually, I did set myself on fire one time at work. I've only done it once though. And it was because I was cleaning the grill. I was cleaning the grill, and when I was scraping it off, the flames jumped to about...
Why were you cleaning it with the flames on?
Because it gets carbon built up on it, and we have this metal brush, and while it's still on, you scrape it with that brush, and it knocks off all that carbon. If you do it after it gets cold, that carbon hardens and makes it a hell of a lot harder to clean. But, yeah, so I did that, and the flames jumped up to about 6 feet high. And I caught my arm, and I had no hair on my arm. I had a first-degree burn going on my whole arm. The only other time I've come close to doing that was the other way we clean it is we have these 2 propane eyes that get much harder than our grill. And we would pull the stuff off the eyes when we were really slow and put the grates on top of that, turn it up to maximum. I have seen the flames get up to about 8-9 feet high, just doing it that way. This is a good way to actually hurt yourself. And
if you were looking to do that.
Yeah, so...
Tips from Ludus. How to harm yourself, 101.
How to harm yourself, yeah. But I'm going to write that book now. No,
we at Asmogon Corporations do not advocate or support the harming of oneself. However, we do find it hilarious.
But no, so it's one of those things where if you do it the wrong way, you can very easily hurt yourself. And that's why I was trained by someone who definitely knew how to do it. And I was shown the right way to do it, which is the way not to burn the fuck out of yourself. Carneth Coin says, I think I do have a question. Well, get in the call line!
Get in the call line, you bastards. Drag your ass into the official cow.
We went through all this trouble making ourselves look stupid just to put it in there. Someone, please.
All right, we got our first caller of the day. We're bringing him on.
I can't do it.
Hey, Chaplain, what's up, man?
So,
all right, what's your question?
So, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, I guess you guys are gamers. I don't know why, but I have an incline. So, what would you say is the best final boss or normal boss you ever fought in the game, and why?
Any game, or is it like specifically Souls-likes? Like, what are we talking?
Any
game, okay.
Oh, damn.
Oh, that's a list. I would say my favorite, not necessarily the most difficult, but my favorite boss I've ever come up against with in any game was in Infamous 2. If you do the hero route, not the Infamous route, the final boss is the big guy. The name escapes me, which I know isn't a great indicator of how great the boss is, but what I liked so much was the storytelling and how that was weaved with the final boss fight and the self-sacrifice of Cole McGrath. For me, like, that final moment in the game's story was so amazing. And again, not necessarily because the boss fight itself was just so spectacular, but the culmination and the wrap-up of the story in that final boss fight, with the difficulty of the boss being pretty decently difficult, actually. I'd say that's my favorite, but that's more or less hyper focused on the boss battle itself, and that's taking the rest of the game into account.
Boss doesn't need to be overly difficult to be a good boss fight. Like the boss from Metal Gear 3 is one of my personal favorite, but mostly because of the lore and the implications throughout the fight.
I think I have my answer, but it's... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have my answer. I would say my favorite final boss fight would probably be the last 3 fights in Final Fantasy VII, where you fight Sephiroth 3 times, essentially. Well, you fight him twice and do a cutscene. And that's because that game probably had the best lead up to those fights. After everything that's happened, you know, it's just, you're so looking forward to just beating the shit out of him. Then when you finally do, it's like, you get this really hard boss fight the first time where you could be up to 3 different teams fighting him, 2 teams of 3 and 1 team of 2. And you get through that, and that's a hard as hell fight on its own, but if you get through it and you're like, oh, cool, I'm finally done. It's like, oh no, here's another one. and then after you do what?
I do like those boss fights that go over the top with the next phases.
Well, the reason I kind of like it is because, well, the first time I played it, I really wasn't expecting it, but also I was like 8, 9 at the time.
Oh.
But even if I would have played it for the first time, like now, I can also say I probably wouldn't be expecting for them to drop that second boss fight right on top of the first one. But I will say that the way they did it and the way they make it feel like a true final boss fight in the game. And that's the thing I really enjoy about it, is because, you know, you do have these final bosses that there are optional bosses that are fucking harder than them.
Yeah, I think there's a Tectoire final boss.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of like that one, because even though there were optional bosses that were actually harder than each fight separately, but as soon as you stack them, well, actually it's really 3 fights put together, because you have the Genova fight right before that. If you stack those 3 fights, even compared to Ruby Weapon, which is what I would consider the hardest optional boss, it's they're much harder, because you've got to consistently think of, okay, well, I've got to fight here, but I don't heal between, I don't get my MP back in between, and it just makes you think really strategically. Whereas with Ruby Weapon, he just fucking takes you down to one party member and then just proceeds to bend you over and show you what a tentacle really is. And an Emerald Weapon, as much
you
as
call me a weeb, you pull out the tentacle hentai shit way more than I do.
His main attack is a tentacle.
Well, he's more deprived than you.
His main attack is a fucking tentacle that he shoots up from behind you. That's not me being a weeb. That's me knowing this game that I played for over 20 years. It's me playing a game that I played longer than you've been alive.
Look, I made a hand puppet out of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, thank you, Chapman Carr, for being our first caller.
Yep.
Thanks also for the question.
Someone has to do it.
Someone had to be the first caller. All right, thank you so much for being on, man.
Yeah. Everything cool. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Wolf Lord actually asks an interesting question. What are your favorite Warhammer weapons?
We kind of answered this at one point, didn't we?
I don't know if we...
Not in this stream, but like in a previous stream, we've actually talked about it.
Well, I think we talked about our favorite tech, and I think we went more into like Titans and shit too. But if we're talking specifically weapons, I'm not entirely sure we did.
Okay, well, my favorite weapon is the tried and true chainsword. Not because it's most powerful or most over the top, but it's just most iconic for me. I think it's, again, just so cool. Like, grand scheme of power level in the universe, it's kind of low, but it's just so amazing of an idea that I just love. Like, I love the idea of just a chain sword, like a chainsaw sword. It's so fucking awesome. So it's iconic, it's simple, but it's definitely my favorite.
Definitely know it's 40K too.
And it's iconic. Like, you see it, you instantly think 40K.
For me, I have two answers to this. My favorite ranged weapon has probably got to be the heavy bolter, because it fires a .999 caliber round, which is fucking massive. It's like the size of like a World War I tank round, and it's a heavy bolter. I mean, what the fuck? It shouldn't work, but it does. But the other one would have to be the Thunderhammer. And the only reason for this is because when I was doing the Death Watch tabletop, my wife had a character that ended up turning into an NPC because she just couldn't make the game. And I tried to throw the Thunderhammer, and one of the player characters in the back because I critically failed. And by the way, for anyone who doesn't know just how powerful a Thunderhammer is, it actually has... so the armor class for Astartes armor is a 14 on the chest. The armor penetration of a Thunderhammer is 16. So it just pushed right through the armor and just fucked him right up. I was like, oh my god. Because the best part about it was her character was also a salamander descendant who had just thrown a Thunderhammer and cracked another Astartes right in the spine with it while they were fighting Tau.
Brilliant.
I was like, how the fuck do I fix this? Well, I can't give him a bear hug because all that's going to do is finish him off. I had a lot of fun with that RP. And I'll say this, even though it was a 40K RP because it was Death Watch, the thing that I love the most about it is like none of us took it seriously. It's like when you have a really good D&D group that just focuses on having the fun. Because, yeah, I homebrewed quite a few of the rules.
Well, I think that is the tried and true, like any RP, is definitely focusing on the heavy on the fun, minimal on the people who do like the number crunching and shit. It's like, well, actually, that's your role, technically speaking, should not be able to beat the armor of a large Umbra Hulk. So technically, you should take D7 damage, and it's like, or as the DM, I can tell you to go fuck yourself, and the Umbra Hulk was dead. Well, actually,
that's less my point. More of like the first 40K game I played. When my
even if that's not your point, still it's mine.
Is that, you know, when he played it with the express intent of making it feel 40K. You know, we were playing Imperial Guard, or we were playing as part of a penal legion. So our goal was essentially get sent somewhere and die. And we got sent somewhere, and we got fucking curb stomped by orcs. Penal Legion versus orcs. I mean, fucking come on. The Psyker ended up critically failing a roll and summoned 3 bloodletters, which was also didn't help. But yeah, so he wanted it to feel more 40K. You know, I want to feel like it's 40K, but fun. This is also something where I think like the Warhammer Adventures thing could take a note. You know, it can be 40K and fun. It's just not going to be the kind of like pussified fun they're looking for. because in this case, it's more of
These Warhammer Adventures wasn't even fun.
I mean, yeah, but like, so I think the last enemy I gave them was Tau, and I had to NPC one of the player characters. He's actually the main moderator on my Discord. He ended up because on a previous mission, people kept critically failing throwing crack grenades, and you can imagine what a crack grenade will do. Actually, they were in Terminator armor for this mission, but even still, you can imagine what crack grenades, at least getting hit by like 6 of them, would do to Terminator armor. Yeah, he became a Dreadnought, but I did give him the option. I gave him the option. I was like, if you want, I will let you revive. If you want, I'll let you become a Dreadnought, or if you want, you can just reroll a character. So I let him have all 3 options. In the end, he chose the Dreadnought. So I literally, they're on an agri world, and I drop him down I drop them all down in a drop pod. And the best part is like the first thing I do as him with an NPC is he gets like this idea that there's some Tau in like this little farm building off to the side. He just turns the assault cannon onto it and makes the building fucking disappear.
So, building? What building?
Pretty much. And so I was like, oh, I didn't mean to roll that well. And it's just like, we had so much fun. And like that shit, because it's so comical, because in the way, it's almost like the old cartoons where he just turns around, fires the assault cannon at it, and the building is gone. No remnants, no nothing in it, building's just gone. Yeah. And the best part is they're trying to hail him. Now, because I had him as an NPC, I set him up specifically for the idea of he's getting sent down as their backup to essentially clear the area so they're all safe. So they keep trying to radio to him and tell him to stop killing everything because he's just drawing more attention. And his response is essentially, no, fuck you, I'm making the area safe. I forgot what chapter he was descended from originally, actually. I want to think it was what was it? I don't remember now.
You would know. You ran this one.
Yeah, but it's been so long. And Gavin Isaacs, yes, anyone's welcome to join the call.
Yeah, yep. Just join call line, and we'll bring you on as a caller. And you're allowed. Since we're probably not going to get a ton of people willing to do that, we'll go with 2 questions. If you got 2 questions to ask, if you only got one, you only got one.
If you only got one, think up of another. Think up of one.
Yeah. If it becomes a popular thing, I'll probably lower it to like 1 question.
Yeah.
But as this is the first time we're unveiling it, I spoke on cracking a cold one. I always crack the coldest ones.
I can't say anything because I'm not really drinking coffee anymore, so I just got done drinking my chai tea.
My chai tea.
Oh, well, thank you for making me sound like a fucking snob.
That was crazy.
Well, no, I got told I need to cut out coffee. In the Discord.
Yeah, in the Discord, you're just gonna go down to caller lines. There's call line. It's the only one you guys can see. We're in something called stream call. What I'm gonna do is how this operates is anyone who wants to join the call goes to call line. You join that, and I will manually bring you into the stream call as a caller.
Yep.
That way, not just anybody can join the call whenever they fiddly diddly feel like doing it. Still gotta have some level of organization and control.
I mean, we barely do that when it's just us. Oh my god.
Alright. Jahi Ills. Alright, well, I'll bring you into the call. You'll need to unmute yourself, lad. Alright, Gavin Isaacs, you're on the stream. What's your question?
My question was going to be, what's your favorite 3 chapters in order?
Oh, we've said this many
That
times.
We've done a lot of.
We've done this a lot of times. But
Yeah.
to reiterate, my favorite 3 chapters: Black Templars, Imperial Fists, Space Wolves. Occasionally, Space Wolves and Blood Angels get switched.
And if we're just talking loyalist chapters, then it's going to have to be, for me, probably... Fuck. Because I'm not a
legendary
loyalist
chapter.
fan. Yeah, because I'm not a loyalist fan, that's why. It's kind of hard to pick for me.
It can be any chapter. Loyalist or traitor.
Well, Traitor would be Warbands.
No, they're legions.
Well, they're still technically legions, but they're also their smaller organization pattern chapter equivalent is Warband.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then I have to actually look one up.
Sorry for asking a basic question. I couldn't think anything on the spot.
I think it's fine. I think warbands are still referred to as their parent legion, though. So it's just a warband of. They're not. Okay.
No, they're not.
Okay, so they have their own name nomenclature. I'm surprised you don't know that. You're the chaos guy.
Well, no, because I always go by the Legion, because I always stick to 30k shit. That's why.
Okay. Miranda's hitting on me heavy on this stream.
Yeah, I know.
I saw that.
Butcher Horde would be my favorite war band, but my favorite Chaos Legions would be Thousand Suns. Well, favorite Legions overall would probably be Thousand Suns, White Scars, and honestly probably World Eaters.
Cool.
World Eaters are the best of boys. They're very simple.
All right. Got a second question for us?
I can reiterate the one I asked earlier. What's your guys' favorite Imperial Guard regiment?
Favorite Imperial Guard regiments. Krieg would be my number 1. Probably next to them would be Catachan Jungle Fighters, and if we're doing a top 3 again, third would probably be Valhalla and Winter Soldiers.
Mine would be actually dangerously similar to Asmogon's. It'd be Krieg, Catachan, and Cadia.
Ah, okay. You'd put Cadia in 3. I like Cadia, but I usually don't put them in top 3. Like they're like number 4 or 5.
Jackson's having an Alpha Legion party.
Alpha Legion, Sons of Omegon.
All right, I'll hop out of the call.
All right, thank you for being our second caller ever. Have a good one, man.
Have a good
one. But yeah, so to explain that is because I really love Krieg. I've always loved their story. They have actually a pretty tragic story, but it does not affect them in the slightest. Catachan I love because honestly Sly Marbo is a thing, and they have who was the other Catachan guy? I can't remember. He had like some He had some weapon that supposedly only Space Marines are supposed to use. And I was like, wait, what? I think he uses a heavy bolter now that I think about it. Notable Catachan Jungle Fighters.
Welcome Adeptus Mechanicus Tech to the stream. No Mordian Iron Guard. Mordian Iron Guard. Heresy!
Yeah, Gunnery Sergeant Stonetooth Harker uses a heavy bolter. Like, as over the top as some of the 40k shit is for an Imperial Guardsman to use a heavy bolter.
And not be an Ogren.
And not be, no, and still be just a regular human. Well, regular human.
Regular as in biologically.
One fire from the heavy bolter needs like back 30 feet. Like, wait, what the fuck? How'd I get back here?
I can actually kind of picture like a fun, like cartoony skit is like a Space Marine shooting off a heavy bolter. All of a sudden, that guardsman comes up shooting it as well, and they just their eyes is like,
Yeah, I can see that too. That would be great.
The fuck?
Isn't that guy a fucking cyborg? God, now I have to look it up. I don't think he is. Catachan Jungle Fighters. He does have cybernetics, but he is not a cyborg.
Very distinct difference.
Yeah. No, like he is like he has a couple of bionic implants, but that is it. And I think it's like
And that brings up the long age-old debate. At what point do you become a person with just cybernetics and then a full-on cyborg? Like where's the line drawn? Everyone has a different opinion on this one, so what's yours?
Hold on, wait, what? Sorry, I was reading the thing on Sergeant Harker. I was reading the thing to see if if he was mechanically augmented. No, he's not.
At what line do you become a person who just has cybernetic augmentations, and at what point do you become a full-blown cyborg? Like where's the line drawn for you?
Okay, a good example of this would be Commissar Sebastian Yarick. He is a person with cybernetics, even though he has a fucking orc power claw in his arm. The only cybernetics he really has is that, and I believe the laser eye, and that's it.
Which commonly is believed it only works because the orcs believe it works.
Yeah, pretty much. But even though he does have that massive replacement of his hand, I would consider that he is just a person with cybernetics. Okay. But for someone who requires them to live, I would say that would be more of a cyborg.
Okay. For me, I would say where I draw the line is a person with cybernetics can have, I would say, up to like 2 limbs replaced. That's not a cyborg. Like if you have an arm and a leg, like I don't know if you've seen the anime, but Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, he has an arm and a leg replaced. He's not a cyborg though. No. I would say a cyborg though is if you have more than, I'd say, 45 to 50% of your body is robotics, and like you said, also require them to live. That is a cyborg.
Well, so here's the thing: as you get more and more cybernetics, you then require them to live. So a good example of this would be trying to think of his name. It's one of the villains. He's actually a playable character in Borderlands the pre-sequel, and he's a villain in Borderlands 2. But he ends up just voluntarily just putting more cybernetics on his body to where he does become a full-on cyborg. And at that point, he does require them to live because he's replacing the shit he needs to live with machine. So that's where mine goes. I don't know if you could say it's really 50-50 or how far it goes. It's just, for me, it's that deadline of when it stops becoming just additive and starts becoming necessary to survive, then that's when you become a cyborg. Wilhelm. Thank you, Myrain.
Well,
but yet, so Sergeant Harker of the Katachan Jungle Fighters is just fucking huge. He is not a cyborg, and I think he only has like 1 cybernetic from what I can see.
Oh, we got Nathan in the call line. Let me pull him in.
Okay.
All right, Nathan, you're on call on the Geeky Stereoticus podcast. You are a 3rd caller ever. What is your questions?
My question to both of you is Erda, Russ, Gilliman, fuck, marry, kill.
I mean, who is... Oh, Erda, Russ, Gilliman? Well, see, here's the thing. I have a very simple answer for this one. Since it's those 3, the very first thing I would do is kill myself.
Sensible.
Wait, so it's
okay,
what's
fuck,
the game?
Marry, kill. It's fuck, marry, kill, Erda, Russ, and Gilliman. So if I kill myself, I don't have to worry about the other 2. And no, you can't steal my fucking answer, Asmagon. Go.
I would fuck Erda, marry Russ, kill Gilliman.
Ludus, I think your answer was...
I would commit Erda
to... I think we need more of a detailed answer.
Erda's a perpetual, so I could commit her to that level of destruction.
I'm taking the fucking cop-out on this one. Fuck, marry, kill. Well, shit.
Every time she comes back, I bring back the destruction.
Oh, I got a good one, and this will be so meme-worthy.
Right,
I got it. I got the perfect answer. I would kill Gilliman because everyone wants to. I would marry Erda, and I would fuck Russ because everyone loves it doggy style.
Okay, I'll accept that.
All right, do you got a second question for us?
I love the little golf clap, by the way.
No, that was just a groundbreaking topic I wanted to introduce. Yeah, I'll dip.
All right, thank you
You
for
guys
being
have a good stream.
thank you for being a third
Thank
caller ever, Nathan. Man,
Oh, I love the way I made that one work. I was sitting there thinking, like, shit, I really don't have a good answer for this. Wait a minute.
we're gonna get some interesting questions on these calls.
Oh, definitely.
Yay!
But yeah, so yeah, he's a well, I don't even want to fucking say baseline human, but he is considered huge by human standards, almost to the level of a Stardust, just with no augmentations. He's a Stardust with he's a Stardust size with no augmentations, or at least close to.
Yeah.
So that would actually be funny now to think about him walking up beside a Devastator Marine with a bolter, and he's like at or almost eye level with him, and the Devastator's like, "Wait, what the fuck are you?" I'm Gunnery Sergeant Stonetooth. Like, no, I didn't ask who. I asked, what are you?
Just a man. Bullshit.
Pretty much.
Would
marrying
confirmed dark elf. My ass.
Would marrying Gilliman give you plot armor?
Yes. Wait, because Yvraine doesn't have plot armor. I don't think.
I don't know. Let's try and fucking kill her and make the story better.
Yeah, kill her. Kill Gilliman. All of them gone.
Wait, but your answer was kill Gilliman too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck Erda, marry Russ, kill Gilliman.
Okay, that's where me and you switched, because I said marry Erda and fuck Russ. Because that doggy style pun was just too good. I am not ashamed of my bad jokes either.
So he is all human. His dick must be huge, says Marine.
Probably.
She's got dick on the brain today. Carnicorn, he took all the steroids. Not some, all the steroids.
I love this because I remember this in the Death Corp Krieg video that Arch did, but this is actually on the Catachan Jungle Fighters. The inhabitants of Death Worlds, like Catachan, are usually fiercely independent souls. Outsiders have difficulty earning their respect, particularly commissars, who tend to come on all high and mighty. These Death World warriors are usually very unsubtle in demonstrating disapproval, and for this reason, such regiments suffer a much higher attritional rate amongst their commissars than from other, more civilized worlds.
Jacob Jones Pierce asks, introduce the Death Note to 40k. Whose name do you write in it? Just to test its effectiveness, I'd write Slaaneish's name in. Just to see if it works. It's like suddenly every like really horny like Slaaneshi demon's just like, huh. I'm actually bored.
God, that would be horrible, actually. You just removed all the horny from 40k. You bastard.
Now who's the real evil one? Me or the Chaos God?
Oh
God.
Let me see. Who would I? It's a hard one, actually. My first instinct is to say Zinch, because if you fuck... and again, my answer also comes before the Horus Heresy, too. Because if you get rid of Zinch, 1,000 Suns stay loyal, and they never have the fucking gene flaw because that was all him. So that would be my answer, but that's also very specific. So outside of that, if it's just someone from 40k, it would definitely be Gilliman. It'd either be Gilliman or Vect. I haven't decided which. I'm just
Gilliman
saying,
would be in my top 3 names to write first.
I'm not sure who's a bigger cancer to 40k, Gilliman or the leader of the Dark Eldar. Could you even kill a Shinigami with a Death Note? I believe they said you could in the anime, but I don't remember for sure because it's been a while.
I believe that Ryuk pointed out to what's the kid's name? I forgot the kid's name. Well, I remember Ryuk clear as day. Light.
It's Light.
Oh, that's why I don't remember it because it's
Because
stupid.
it's so fucking stupid. Yeah.
Light. I'm pretty sure he told Light that he could try and write Ryuk's name in there all he wants, but it doesn't work on a Shinigami. For a Shinigami to die via the Death Note, they have to write their own name in there. So Ryuk can only write Ryuk's name and it kill him. If I remember correctly. I probably don't. It's been years since I watched the damn show, but
Dragonus Wolflord says, "Do you know of any female Ogren?" And it would make sense. Well, no, it would make sense because they are abhumans. It doesn't mean they're all specifically male. So there is an argument. There's an easier argument for female Ogren, but the first thing that popped up was on Reddit, and I'm ashamed of what I see. As such, I think that it is reasonable to speculate that the female Ogrens are tall lollies.
What?
I don't know where that argument is coming from. I don't know. Oh, actually, here, you know what? I'm going to sidetrack off that because I really don't want to get on that subject. So what if an Ogren became a living saint? Oh. Okay, so the argument is because apparently Ogren are kind of like, they have the mentality of children. I think that's the argument they were trying to have for the lolly thing. But as much as I want to stay away from that, Ogren's becoming a living saint. That would be an interesting rabbit hole to go down. What do you think about a living saint Ogren?
And honestly, I have no idea how that would work. So I don't know. Like, it's as simple as that. I have no clue. It'd be funny, narratively speaking. But how would it work? I don't have a fucking clue.
Well, living saints are just essentially people that have that really high faith.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. Like, how exactly would an with an Ogren? How would it be different or the same? I don't have a fucking clue.
I don't want to word it this way, but the easiest way I have to word this without us getting canceled is a mentally stunted living saint. That would be actually kind of funny. That's something 40k needs.
It would also be kind of.
It would be horrible.
It'd be horrible. It'd be pretty
but
bad.
It would be funny.
Because imagine like being like, "Oh, holy saint, Flugnug of the Ogrens."
Flugnug.
I don't know. Like,
I love it.
I'd rather just die. You know, like I'd be on a battlefield about to be eaten by a Tyranid. I can hope the saint will save me, but then I gotta pray essentially to be saved by Lugnug. So I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Who's the other famous commissar?
It's Commissar Yara.
Caiaphas Kane. Is it Caiaphas Kane?
I don't know.
Am I saying that right? No.
I always remember, everyone, including myself, always remembers Yarrick. Every other commissar by comparison is just so small fry. So.
Well, no. So Caiaphas Kane, I think, is another commissar. He has a saying where if your only chance for survival is to charge a Carnifex with a broken chair leg. Caiaphas Kane, yeah. If your only chance for survival is to charge a Carnifex with a broken chair leg, then you're going to charge the Carnifex. That is how I see Living Saint Flugnug working out. Save me from this Carnifex! You smash!
Bonk.
the easiest way to get souls for the Emperor is
Oh, Holy Emperor, we have acquired you some souls. How, bonk?
No. How? Well, Living Saint Flugnug has been working overtime giving people advice. Oh, so they've been killing a lot of people. I'm like, no, they've been suicidally charging carnifexes.
It'd be funny. It's like, oh my god. I would love to see an Ogren rewrite the primer for the Imperial Guard. You know that handbook that they're given?
Yeah.
Which tells them, oh, hey, orcs are completely stupid and weak. You just grab them by the wrist and you win. Pretty much shit like that. I want to see an Ogren write that shit. Just have these really terrible doodles in there. Just like smash brain of bug. Bug's brain smashed. You're gonna squash a massive female Ogren living saint with big wings and a huge hammer. I just got a really horrible joke to go with that. Or a joke way to say the same thing, I guess. Massive BBW.
Pretty much.
Massive BBW with wings serves the Emperor of Mankind.
Here's a quote. This will give you an idea of the kind of advice. Here's
Stop!
the kind of advice that Ogren would give. This is from the wiki page for Ogren, for the Boneed section.
Boneed.
So I asks myself, what would Colonel Stracker do? Easy, I says. He'd probably yell at me for bloody standing about and not smashing things with me mates. So that's what I did. Dave and they gave me this year's shiny medal when I was through.
Oh, I don't remember.
What you want your living saint to be?
I don't remember which Ogren said this, but a commissar was doing that thing where they where everyone's standing at attention and they're like ripping into him, and a commissar yelled at this Ogren something like, "So what are you supposed to do?" And the Ogren in confusion goes, "Whatever I'm told to do, sir." That's correct, and he gave him a medal for it.
Hold up. I'm gonna say this quote, and then I'm going to explain what this quote is, because I read this and I know what this means, but my mind is not comprehending this. This is in the Bulwark section, and it is a quote from Tug the Ogren, which makes the fact that we called ours Flugnug even funnier.
Flugnug the Tugger. Tugger the Flugnug. That's funny.
One, sir. Oh, Dan dare. He ain't so tough looking to me. Don't you worry none, sir. I'll fix him. Tug the Ogren before slaying an orc knob with his own liberated power claw. I know how big knobs are. That came out wrong. I know how big orc knobs are. Shut up. Shut up.
the way that all went down just now is beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful. Someone clip that shit.
My ring, you already knew that about me, so it's like, but no, so like I know how big orc knobs are. Just to imagine an Ogren fucking up an orc knob with a power claw. Can you breathe?
Yeah, I think I'm.
Are you good now?
Yep,
are you good? Are you sure?
100%. Yep.
I can imagine Ogrens getting head pets from Vulcan and grinning happily. Jackson, dick jokes. Yes, that's where we are right now.
The thing is, it wouldn't have been half as funny if you had done that intentionally, but it's the fact that you didn't.
Okay, here we go. Flugnug, the Tugger, also known as the Gun Lugger. because that's a type of ogre. Say that fucking 5 times.
Oh my.
Pogrins are clad in custom-made carapace armor. Why? They can't fit in regular carapace armor?
Apparently not.
I
wonder why.
I just had...
Oh, by the way, I know we usually stick to 40k pretty closely, but one thing that came up recently, you know Dr. Disrespect?
I've seen shit about it.
Yeah, so apparently, do you remember he was banned from Twitch?
Yes.
Forever ago now. And that almost creepily no information spread about it, which is scary, because normally when there's drama like this...
Oh, no, I saw a lot of information on it.
Well, that's the... Well, no, like, there was nothing. Like, not other than him saying he has no idea, claiming he had no idea why he was, well, banned. And Twitch, there was no information either. It was just speculation everywhere, off of really small details. But this past week, I don't know if anyone else covered it, but Rich from Review Tech USA, I don't know if you know him.
Nope.
He broke a video showcasing that in a podcast of some kind, a voice actor from Call of Duty Ghosts, I believe, who still works for the company. Basically, in this podcast, it was revealed that, in fact, Dr. Disrespect was banned because in negotiations for his contract, he tried to use he tried to say, "Oh, well, Mixer's offering me a better deal, so can you guys match it or get better?" Which is kind of weird because the time frame that was given in the podcast, at that point, Mixer already announced it was going under. So, either the timing was explained wrong or the story's not correct. But the thing that adds validity to the claim that that's the reason, Twitch essentially got offended that he lied to them. Like, you know, hey, like, Mixer's offering me a better deal. Can you, you guys should give me a better deal than they're offering. Basically, he lied, inventing that the Mixer had contacted him at all. And it's part of negotiations, though. That's like how you negotiate a contract. You're gonna fight to give yourself the better deal, and that includes lying. Like, you're gonna bullshit, and you're gonna say, like, hey, well, technically, well, I did that for, I've literally done that with, like, cars and stuff. I've done that at lawn sales. Like, somebody's trying to sell me a piece of furniture. They're like, this thing's $25. I'm like, you know what, dude? Like, there's another lawn sale, I don't know, just up the road. They're also selling a pretty decent chair. That one's only $10, and it's leather. It's not nice upholstery. This one, it's not as good, man. Like, I'm just gonna have to say, you know, I was like, oh, well, I'll sell it to you for $12 then.
Real quick,
man.
Just jumped in.
Huh?
Kill Team Hungry just jumped in. He said, "Hi guys, hope you're doing fine."
Hey, Kill Team Hungry, what's up, man? Yeah, we're doing pretty good. We just introduced allowing callers into the podcast now, which is interesting. Basically, if you hop on the Discord, if you scroll down in the categories, you should see caller lines, and you'll only visible to people is call line. Yeah, join that. We know you have 1 or 2 questions max to ask us directly, and we'll pull you into the call. I'd ask you questions, then we answer the questions. Then you hop out for anybody else interested to hop in and ask questions.
Oh, did I tell you I'm getting 2 new centerpieces for my channel?
You did not.
So.
Oh wait, no. Is this the miniatures? One's
Yep.
Actually, yeah, you did mention this last time.
Yeah. Someone spent $150 on miniatures for me.
Well, that's cute. I had to buy all my own and paint all my own. Which is fun, though. But yeah, with the...
I can't, because my hands shake. I'm almost positive I have really bad nerve damage in one, if not both of my hands.
Yeah. So, to wrap it up, I guess, the Dr. Disrespect situation really comes down to... Dr. Disrespect got banned on Twitch because he tried to negotiate a good deal for himself. They were offended by that. And out of pettiness, they banned him and intentionally made it look as shady as they possibly could. by not allowing any kind of information to surface about it. Which goes in line with what we know about Twitch. Some pretty petty people run Twitch. And remember when Ninja left?
Real quick, we have a super chat.
Oh, thank you for the super chat, AR. Thank you. Thank you, Ludus 2021. I know how big knobs are. As we got 2021, Rogel Dorn's Codex Astartes. Also, expletive Erebus. I hate his character so much. Who doesn't? Does anybody like Erebus? Well, I guess the people who are like ultra evil and like ultra evil characters probably like Erebus, but even then, his personality wise, it's not like he's like a respectable evil. He's just a maniacal evil. It's kind of
he's just a douchebag.
He's just kind of a douche. It's not like he's not like he's a supervillain with ultra awesome powers. He's just a conniving little weasel.
Yeah, he really is. That's the fucked up thing. You know, it really, if they would have killed Erebus a long time ago, a lot of shit would have been better. AR says, I like the word bearers and say fuck Erebus. Like,
you really like the worst chapters and stuff. Like, I like the word bearers, like the Ultra Smurfs. You're like 2 for 2, bro.
I will at least defend one thing for the word bearers. They do have one really cool piece of lore. And that's where the origins of the chaplains come from. Because originally what they would do is they would send one chaplain up to like the equivalent of like a hive city or something, and essentially say surrender or die. And if they didn't surrender, he would sit there and fight them off, and one of them could kill fucking hundreds of humans. So he would sit there, kill off hundreds of humans. He might eventually die, and even if he does, here comes this whole army of gray over this hill and just fucks up the city. That's cool. That is actually one of the really cool parts of their lore. But that's also before... Oh my fucking god, Jackson, you asshole.
What?
In the general chat on your Discord. Oh, kill me. Oh, kill me now. Yeah.
I need to bleach my eyes.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, there were cool parts to the word bearer's lore.
Take lives, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Kids Hungry, I just ordered a custodian warden off of eBay and gonna convert it as a dual sentinel wielding blade badass. Gonna do probably a live stream when it arrives. Nice. That'll be very nice. Asgard, what do you think of the Ogren fan parade following Vulcan because he's so what?
Because he is so nice.
Okay, let me read that again. What do you think of the Ogren fan parade following Vulcan because he is so nice? Just Mechanicus Tech, how do I join Discord? Well, I can share it.
I'm about ready to put it in.
That's what she said. I'll never grow up. But yeah, if you join the Discord through the link, you can also join if at any point we don't provide the link directly in the chat on the main channel page. My main channel page in the corner of the channel art, there's a link to the Discord, and from there, just gonna scroll down to the caller lines, and if you go into call line, we can pull you into the stream, and you can ask up to 2 questions if you so choose.
And that is the correct link. I just tested it myself.
There.
Kill Team Hungry said, by the way, Games Workshop announced 2 open jobs for Warhammer 40k Kill Team, rules writers, game devs in the UK. And I applied, going to sort shit out and get the game back on track. Wish me luck. Awesome, man. I hope you get it.
Awesome. Yeah, you did also mention that to us before. And yeah, I still wish you luck on it. I hope you get the job.
Okay, Tech Priest Alex has joined the Discord.
I pray to the Christ that you get the job. We need people who actually give a fuck about 40k to start actually developing shit for it.
I mean, I don't pray to the Christ, but I will pray that you get it.
Well, I'm not even religious, but you know what I mean. Pray to whatever god you believe in. What?
I pray to Slanesh that you go in there and fuck their shit up.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I made it work. Oh, shit.
I swear it is a load above. Specifically for word bearers, I like the chaplains. Yeah, okay, I almost read that wrong. And the pre-heresy armor scheme, and during its fall before it got way too over the top.
Yeah. Back when they were actually just murdering each other just for shits and giggles, pretty much.
Actually,
Gavin Isaacs says, I pray to Flugna.
Are you a fan of Lord of the Rings by chance, Ludus?
Yes and no. I like it. I'm just I haven't read the book. I've read maybe like a couple of the books.
Just the movies. Have you seen the movies though?
Yes, I've seen the movies.
Okay. One of these days we have a dedicated stream. It doesn't even need to be Geeky Theoreticus, but it can be. Where the whole stream, I'm gonna introduce you to a certain review of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The worst review of the trilogy. I will introduce you to that review, and if that,
why would you do this to me?
Because it's such good content to just the cringe that we will be set upon.
No, why? What have I done? What have I done to hurt you?
Much. Oh god. Well, I might do that. Might just force a good chunk of the community to watch it and record it for posterity. Fuck, I can't talk. Posterity.
I was watching The Boys, that group I was telling you about, and they do a video making fun of, well, making fun is really not the right word. Outright just slamming Nikocado Avocado. And I have watched it like 5 times, and every time, for some reason, I just laugh harder and harder.
Yeah, the thing is Nikocado Avocado, by the way, faking like that mukbang shit? Like, more specifically, those moments when he's like cutting his hair and putting in like eggs and rubbing it all over himself.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
And people do some pretty fucked up shit to get clout on the internet.
I think he might legit be a bit unstable.
Well, you have to be at least a little bit to be willing to do that, but at the same time, you sure it's not like a strategy to get like those like fucked up clicks?
Like if it were only like once in a while, then maybe yeah. But it's kind of a consistent thing. So no, I think he just actually like genuinely needs help.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize I'm kind of spaced out. I swore to corn today. It was Tuesday. Yeah, I forget what day it is most of the week as well. We're pretty under rested as well. It seems to be a trend. Having a baby is like fucking traveling through the warp. You go home, lock the door, and the next time you go out, 600 years have passed.
Yeah, I don't think you were here when I explained this, and when I bitched about it before Kill Team Hungry. I usually work 5 days a week, and I only worked 4 days this week and still hit 40 hours. And then this coming up week, I'm scheduled 6, and I'm hitting right above 50. So they're determined to kill me at work by way of extreme exhaustion. And one of those days, I worked 14 hours, and I'm probably going to do that shit again, because fuck me, I guess.
They clearly can't get enough of you. I mean, like, they can't separate from you long enough to let you rest.
Part of the problem is we only have 4 night cooks. And you want to hear the good news on that front? We're about to go from 4 night cooks to 2.
Oh. Fun. Are they both quitting, or are they, like, one get fired? Like, what's going on there?
So one is going back to college. Oh yes, no, they definitely pay me. They don't pay me enough sometimes. Like there are sometimes I was like, no, you don't pay me a fuck enough to deal with this bullshit, but you do pay me actually pretty well.
Actually, how much do they pay you an hour?
11.
11.
We just got a pay raise.
That was from a raise?
Yeah, we were making
shit.
10. Everyone got all the cooks got a dollar raise. But so
Yes, go eat Marine. Just don't eat too many of those dicks.
So it's one of those things where
Alright, we're gonna slide by that. Got it.
where it's just one of them is going to college and the other one is moving in with him. And so he won't have a ride back and forth to work. So what they're planning on, yes, Carneth Corn, yes, they should. They don't, but they should. And so from what I understand, and God, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. Well, I'm not giving names, and it's not really well known where I live and shit like that. So that should be fine.
Just be safe. It's the internet. People are fuck up.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Don't be Dragon Lord. Don't pull a Dragon Lord.
Well, no. So the one of them has already kind of put himself in hot water. So if he does, so from what I understand, he is leaving and moving in with the guy until he can find a way back and forth to work. From what I understand, if he does, they're not going to hire him back. From what I understand, now I could be wrong. Don't know, but
it's a standard work bullshit.
It's like I told you, he's the one that was arguing with the server when I walked in. So it's one of those things where I really won't be sad to see him go, except for the fact that we need hands.
That's a trade-off right now, unfortunately.
It's, do we get rid of the bad attitude, or do we just deal with it just so we have another body?
The eternal weight of the scales, unfortunately.
Like, we are really, and actually it's not just us, there are a lot of places where I live, and a lot of the stores in my district that are completely understaffed. And I mean, like, almost 50% what they're supposed to be or less. I know of one other store that only they do about double the business we do, and they only have 3 night cooks, 2 or 3.
All right.
So,
yeah. So, were we on a topic? Like, I think we haven't been on a specific topic in a while now.
We were Dr. Calculus in the call line.
Hold on, let me pull him in.
I know I got started on talking about work, and
no, that's fine. It's just
it went down its own rabbit hole.
All right, Calcuro, you're on the line. You can have up to 2 questions, man. Then we gotta hop you off. But what's your first or possibly only question?
Oh, hello. Hey, hello. Yes. I was simply going to ask you one short question, and that is, outside of 40k, what is your most spiciest hot take, like unpopular opinion about anything outside of 40k, like pop culture, fiction-wise?
Oh, I
Like
got
the
it.
spiciest, most controversial BS you could state.
I got one for this.
I have a few.
Yeah. It's like trying to think of which one is like,
Can you give us something a little bit more narrowed down?
Yeah, narrow that one down a little bit.
I guess we'll go with science fiction things outside
Science
of
fiction. Most controversial take in science fiction.
Oh, okay. I got this one.
You want to go first while I'm thinking?
Okay. Even like so, this one I have to preface with the positive before I get to the negative. I actually kind of enjoyed the original Star Wars trilogy, but overall, they're just all Star Wars stuff is just mediocre to me at this point.
Ooh, that is controversial.
That is spicy, though I have heard similar opinions before.
Like back when it was just the originals, and hell, even the originals and the prequels, I really enjoyed it. But now it's just all mediocre. It's so tainted at this point that it's just I can't even watch the originals anymore. It's all below my standards at this point.
Yeah. I got two that come to mind. Most controversial in terms of Star Wars. I don't like Luke.
That's
never.
not controversial.
Well, no. I've never liked Luke.
There was the time he kissed his sister and didn't know it.
The thing is, I rarely voice that because there are plenty of people who really stand by the character of Luke Skywalker. I have never liked Luke. I like the story of Star Wars. I like the things that go on around. I don't like Luke at fucking all. So
No,
even
that is spicier.
Yeah, for when he taught, I still thought it was a bastardization of a character I don't like. When he tossed the lightsaber behind him in the Last Jedi and stuff like that, I still didn't think that a character would do that. But here's the thing: I still do not like the character, and for me, that was by far not even close to the worst thing. So when a lot of people were like talking about the Last Jedi and like the sins of it, and people would like bring up like the Luke Skywalker stuff, I'd be like, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, his character was so great. Didn't really have much of one. But yeah, I don't like Luke. The other the other controversial opinion I have is with Star Trek. I don't like Kirk.
That's not really controversial though.
Well, for the Trekkies, I've come across especially the older Trekkies love Kirk. He's, for a lot of people, for some reason, he's like their penultimate guy. For me, I don't like Kirk either, and I think he's funny certain episodes for sure, or entertaining, but I don't at all consider him. Even in the upper echelon of the captains we see in the course of Star Trek, he's not even comparable to. I don't know why that's always the comparison is. Oh, who's better, Kirk or Picard? It's like, oh, who's better, God or Trash Can?
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just as an extreme example. It's like here. No, they're not on the same wavelength at all. So no.
Well, no, they're two different types of captains. That's why I think it's hard to compare them.
Well, no, even then, as a captain, as a character, as it all, was never a fan of Kirk.
That's why I would say what I would say. I think Kirk was the better captain. I think Picard was the better character. That's how I've always seen it. So.
That's the first time I've admitted that, by the way. I'm pretty sure last time we debated Star Trek and stuff like that, I tried my best to hide my my dislike or indifference towards Kirk. Tried to be fair to him, but yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, at any point, I don't like Kirk.
If Kill Team Hungry, if the Imperium would show up at Earth's doorstep, what chapter would you like to come down to us? And how
let's wrap this up. Okay. So, Kakil, is that your one and only question, man?
I could ask a follow-up question shortly to you specifically, and that would be, is Anakin Skywalker then a better character than Luke?
Ooh, I want to hear this one. You fucked yourself this time, Asmagon.
Can I include the Clone Wars cartoon in this debate?
I mean, it would still him as a character, so I don't see why not.
Okay, if we're including the Clone Wars cartoon, yes. If we're excluding the Clone Wars cartoon, no. I would say no.
I love how you're trying to worm your way out of this one.
Say.
It's just a simple question. Is Anakin a better character or is Luke a better character?
Hey, is this wooden board better than this plank? Well, shit.
You're trying. You're so great.
Well, if we had the Clone Wars cartoon, there's a shit ton of character development that adds to the character of Anakin. So, yeah, definitely better if we include all of that. Exclude that, hell no. They're just as bad. Underdeveloped and in many ways poorly written. At the very least, poorly performed. As much as I defend the actor who played Anakin in the prequels, which I do, I genuinely put all the blame on George Lucas. But at the same time, the writing is the writing. It's there, it's permanent. Can't undo it, unfortunately. So, in the movies, horrible. Yeah, that's my answer. Anyway, thank you for the questions, Account Keel. Thank you for being on the call, and I hope you continue to enjoy the rest of the stream.
No problem. Thank you. And now back to the shield drones.
Alrighty. So we actually had some success. Yeah, we've had like 5 calls. It's awesome. All right.
Chaplain Carm put a picture in the 40K other fun topics for me. It's a picture of Chaos Space Marines in like this treehouse looking thing, and it says no Primaris allowed, no Custodes either. Sisters okay. The only reason sisters are okay is because Emperor's Children and Slaanesh are a thing.
Where is that?
It's in other fun topics Warhammer 40K.
Okay. Caspi. Okay, that's actually kind of the way that's drawn is so perfect.
Yeah.
Caspi, no Primaris allowed, no Custodes either. Sisters okay.
Only because Slaanesh is a thing.
They're in the little tree fort over there, like. That's actually pretty funny.
Dragonus Wolflord actually kind of hits it as captains. I would say most Star Trek captains are really bad at decision making, but nice characters.
It depends. I think. Well, it also depends on the episode because there are some episodes where, uncharacteristically, they'll make either
they do something smart.
They either do something really smart or something weirdly dumb. Like
I love that with Picard when he does something that's like, wait a minute, he doesn't. No, he's not smart enough to be doing. Like there was one time when he they were about to go through like an energy field that kills all matter or some shit, and he managed to like save the ship in the last second or something. Because, of course. And then there was another one where he just, like, gets outsmarted by, who was it? It was a human, I think. And he just, like, completely, like, has a complete herder moment. And he's like, oh, no, my brains, like, it went out my asshole. No, I can't think. AR has says he has 2 questions, but has background noise. Well,
is it extreme background noise? You can also do push to talk, where you can just ask a question real quick with the background noise, and then it'll automatically mute when you take the button off.
Which, by the way, I want to plug the fuck out of my microphone. There is a cat sitting right in front of my microphone, and y'all can't hear it.
Is he purring?
Yeah, she is. It's my old cat. It's right there.
You have the same mic as me.
Yeah. Now I've got to fix this. Fuck.
Gavin Isaac says, at Asmo, what's your opinion on the Clone Wars cartoon? I really like it.
Wait a minute, there's a...
And if you want an advanced opinion on it, I can, but just to answer the question generally, I do love the Clone Wars cartoon. It adds a lot that the prequels really needed. Alright, so AR's online, so we'll bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, AR, welcome to the Geeky Theoreticus podcast. You are allocated 2 questions if you so choose. So go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
First off, what is both of your favorite Horse Heresy books? And then what is the preferred chapter for Ludus's Marines if I'm gonna put them in my Death Watch?
So my favorite book would be Fly the Eisenstein. As far as chapters, you're way out of my wheelhouse, so I really don't care.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
Oh no, like what is the color scheme for like your
Oh, you see
army?
my game. It's because of 1,000 Suns is this end.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It was just for that one character, really.
No worries.
Yeah, from my favorite book, I haven't read every single one, mind you. I have read up to the 4th book. So out of the first,
Out of the Eisenstein.
yeah, I just finished it, by the way. Very good fucking book.
Oh yes, it is my favorite.
Which leads me to my answer, which is now also Flight of the Eisenstein. And I can see why you, having just finished it, I can see why you lored it so much. It's a very good book. Before I had started reading it, I would have actually said the very first book of the Horus Rising, because I really enjoyed that book.
Yeah,
but
I think
now that I've gotten to Flight of the Eisenstein, I'd have to say I enjoyed that. I have to say it, and you justifiably hyped that one up for me. I enjoyed Flight of the Eisenstein.
Well, no, it's like because they really do the humanizing aspect really well in that one, where they really show Nathaniel Garrow go through like where he does find faith because there's nothing else for him.
I enjoyed the character interactions in particular.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
I really like how they continued on with some of the books, continuing on with Garrow as well. If you haven't read those, I would suggest it.
I love how he essentially becomes the first Inquisitor.
Yeah. I also really like No Fear, and that's where a lot of like my love of the Ultramarines comes from. Is specifically that book, and that's why I'm excited for the new lore. If that makes sense to counter your argument.
For new lore?
I'm always excited for new stuff to read.
Oh,
why wouldn't I be?
Okay, so I think I'm gonna take this one from Asthma because I can actually say this because I've been in the lore for 17 years, give or take. So there is a reason why I stick with Horus Heresy and not dig into new shit.
New shit retcon is like a retcon buffet.
Yeah, it's not just a retcon buffet; it's just a bad retcon buffet.
Retcon.
Oh no, there's some retcons that are good, but just like no.
I mean, I'm pretty pissed off about like the new Uriel Ventress book, just because like the Uriel Ventress books are what got me kind of into Warhammer so many years ago. Because I've been reading it for like 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
But like the new book really pissed me off.
You said
how old am I?
Yeah, you said younger than.
Oh, I'm 32.
Oh, holy shit! No, you're older than me.
Yeah.
Why is it I always end up either sounding or looking older than people who are older than me? Am I aging that horribly?
Yes.
Am I am. Ah, God, the mileage, man. I've been through too much in my few years on this planet. I should shave and take some estrogen and lighten up my voice. I don't know. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one.
New lore is new stuff to get excited about and new stuff to complain about. What else are we gonna do?
Having read the Marnius Calgar comics, I have now completely lost any kind of faith in any future lore additions for Decay.
That's Marvel. That's Marvel. You can't compare that to like
Black Library's fucking random assortment of writers. Right.
They got rid of Matt Ward.
Hell, they pretty much figure out who's writing the next book because they put all their names on a dartboard and then blindfold somebody.
That's pretty much.
It's like, who's gonna write the next book? I get the names up. I got the dart ready. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to any of the new stuff.
Kill Team Hungry. I'm not very far behind you. I'll be 30 in August.
I just turned 32, so
yeah. Well, no, he was saying like we were younglings. Like I turned 30 in August.
I'm the only one here who's He's in his early 20s, so.
Have fun with it.
Have fun with being 20? I guess. Don't got too many medical problems yet.
No, that's me.
But yeah.
That's what's around the corner, so have fun while you can.
I'm glad you're looking forward to future books, though. I mean, I'm not going to fault you for that, or fault you for really anything. I am going to argue with you all day long about the Ultra Smurfs, but that's... But at the end of the day, that's
that's
for
good
me,
argument.
that's friendly banter.
Yeah. The number one problem for them I have is the fact they always stick the decal sheets. I wish I could have something else, or it would be random in a box. That's the only problem I have with the fucking Ultramarines.
Period?
For the most part, yeah. It's just that they keep pushing them on everything. Like, if it wasn't in every single box set that I got was Ultramarine decal sheets, yeah, I'd be happy.
Well, excluding, if I'm being totally objective, if you exclude me and a couple other people, the general reason why most 40k fans don't like Ultramarines at this point is just their oversaturation. That's quite literally, if they were no longer the universal...
Cool to hate them.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's cool. There's plenty of Ultramarine fans who stand up for them all the time. Hell, Luton 09, one of the arguably the biggest lore channel for 40k, is an Ultramarine fanboy. So a lot of people's biggest source of lore is an Ultramarine biased person. So I don't agree at all that it's cool to hate them. I'd say I hate them for my reasons, and I stand by them. But I don't think generally it's cool to hate them. I'd say it's entirely based on how you, on where you are in the lore, based on I would definitely argue how you're introduced to each chapter. I'd say it's very dependent on everyone's introductories to
Will
stuff.
you agree with me that there's like a certain amount of people that hate them just for the fact that it's a meme to hate them?
I know like maybe 3 people I've encountered who don't have reasons, and I bitch those people out. I was like, if you're gonna hate something, that's fine, but have a reason.
Yeah.
But would I say they're the majority? Would I say they're the majority? Hell no. Most of the people I've discussed who also don't like the Ultramarines like I do have reasons.
And like, I like most legions and most chapters. And I'll take out specific characters that I don't like.
I think that a lot of the problem isn't necessarily with like taking out specific characters, because there's also characters whose writing has changed over time. A really good example of this from my favorite Legion would be Ahriman. Ahriman at one point actually said, "The Thousand Sons will always be loyal," and now look at him. Look at the little asshole he has become. I get that things change in 10,000 years and that he was been fucked with the war. But at the same time, if that was really his true conviction, which even Magnus's true conviction up until the point where the almighty puppy of Fenris decided to fuck him up because he's too dumb to actually verify orders.
And see, this is another good point, by the way, for everybody watching. All of us here disagree on something. Ludus is one of my best friends. I vehemently don't agree with him when it comes to the Space Wolves. We argue about it all the time. We're still best friends.
Yeah, and it's one of the things where, that's the thing. So, and also one of the things that I really disagree with Asmongon on is the chapters thing. When it does come to chapters, I do like the Black Templars. They are kind of funny and they're very meme-worthy, but I just don't like the whole idea of the chapters because I stick to 30k.
And one of my only compliments to the Codex is the chaptered system. My problem is the limited number.
Yeah.
1,000 a chapter? Fuck that.
And I think that, it goes back to what I said, for me, with the Thousand Sons, what I was trying to get to is, Ahriman back in 30k was really cool, and now in 40k he's just a stereotypical Saturday morning villain.
And it's also with the chaos Chaos Gods as well. In old lore, each of them had a flip side to their coin. Now, as they're written in the modern lore, they're all just stereotypes.
Yeah.
They're all just one note.
And it can't even be Death Note. It's just one note.
I mean, like, it's kind of upsetting to me as far as like the bits of lore that I get upset about. I'm upset about like how all Chaos Marines are like blood crazy, rampage, kill, maim, burn, destroy, maximum evil. There's like no tactical anymore.
Yeah, that goes along with like the point about the Chaos Gods becoming one note. Same with Chaos in general. I think when it comes to Black Library, none of the writers seem to want to write very compelling Chaos characters, at least lately. It's kind of.
I really like Aaron Dinsky Bowden's The Night Lords that he did is really good.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
he's a
not
good
like,
Chaos writer. The problem is he writes Imperial too much and writes shitty Imperial.
Yeah, we actually discussed that with the with Arch, in fact, where we essentially he pointed it out in particular that certain writers are definitely better to write certain things. And didn't you recommend that GW set up an organization where certain writers only write Chaos, certain writers only write Imperium?
So the way I suggested it was actually a little bit more literal than that. You know how like a hospital has different wards?
Yeah.
Set it up like that, and there's like a Chaos ward, an Eldar ward, an Imperial ward, and everyone stays in their own fucking ward. That way they stay physically separated from each other. And the only time that people meet is like when like the supervisors of each area meet. Like, okay, so we're talking about this battle. These are the numbers that were given down to us. We just want to pass them on to you. Or if they give them to you, if they're different numbers. So we make it at least canonically sound. Whereas like you don't have a battle on the side of Chaos. There were 10,000 Imperial Astartes. And then you hear, from the Imperials, like, we attacked with our 2,000 men. Like, get it where, like, there is a consistent flow of the numerical information. Be like, you write it this way. Here's how it has to turn out. You write it this way. This is how it has to turn out. But write it in y'all's style. If you want to make it a heroic last stand for Chaos, and my Castell's waving in front of the webcam. If you want to make it a heroic last stand for Chaos, go for it. If you want to make it like an overwhelming victory for, the Imperials, go for it. Or if you want to make them like have to struggle for it, go for that too. This is just what we need it to be numerically. And that'll be it. But see, that makes too much fucking sense.
Blue just brushes off shoulder. Yeah. Pat's head.
Oh, no, it's really a fucking simple solution. It's just they won't do it.
Probably not.
We have a special character or a special needs character already about to become a major. Have either of you read Devastation of Baal?
Well, no, there is.
I have the book. I still need to read it.
There is already a special needs character.
So when you say special needs, do you mean that in a comedic sense, or do you mean like?
Okay, he has legitimate brain damage and becomes Primaris.
I assume not just like that. I mean,
well, no,
that
but
would be funny.
They accept him.
Okay,
and he's going to become Primaris.
For what chapter? Out of curiosity.
Blood Angels.
Nope, I'm not with it.
It's Teos. His name is Teos.
Here's why I'm not with
I heard Tails. Was that what you said?
Teos. T-A-O-S.
Okay, I heard Tails. I was like, is Sonic up in this bitch? I was very confused for a second there.
Here's why I'm not
he's legitimately took a fall and has slow talk. Is always scared.
Imagine someone.
And he's not dead yet.
I'm gonna put this as gently as I can.
Surprise!
Someone with mental deficiency.
Read the book.
I will when I get around to it, but I'm confused.
Asmagon, I'll simplify it. Imagine someone with mental deficiency succumbing to the red thirst.
Oh, I got even better. Imagine Forrest Gump succumbing to the red thirst in the Black Rage.
Yeah, no, that's my argument. Is like if he really is that, if he does have those mental deficiencies, if he is slow, then that's going to be horrible. Almost as horrible as fucking Jackson right now.
Right, what did Jackson do?
Warhammer 40k. Scroll to the bottom.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm gonna let this one be a surprise. Damn it.
Transgender Ogren? Oh, okay, I see. What the hell?
Yes. If I must look at it, so must you.
I'm not even, like...
Anyways, I gotta go. Have a nice day.
Alright, thank you for joining, AR. Have a good one, and thank you for your question, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for answering.
And Murderous Kitten, yeah, go ahead and type in the chat. If you want to jump in if you don't want to jump in the voice call, yeah, just put it in the chat. That'd be fine.
Yep. Voice chat's only if someone wants to call directly. And wants to discuss it briefly, I suppose.
Also, I've only got like 20 minutes.
Wait, how many people added me while we were talking? Jesus. Asgon, you are aging like fine wine, don't worry.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay. You just didn't acknowledge, so I was like, did he?
Well, I understand. All right, 21. So we'll wrap up. Anyone got any?
We don't have to wrap up. If people want to keep going, that's fine. It's just like this is at the point where I'm saying we don't need to wrap up right now. Just I only got like 20-30 minutes.
All right. We'll start getting in that mental state though, like we're on our way out here. Let me read the ats because shit ton of people added me while we were talking. And again, thank you to AR for the discussion. All right, where's Kitten Asgon? You are aging like fine wine. Don't worry. I do worry because I don't feel like I'm aging like fine wine. Okay, where's Kitten Asgon is still a young pup though. I wouldn't call myself a young pup.
I would.
Asgon, don't worry. I can still cougar on your ass. Oh, don't tempt me. Whereas Kitten, don't make any kids in your 30s. I will try. I don't really have much of a say in it right now. Yes, we require more Asmagons, so he should get kids. Why are people already signing me up to have children all of a sudden? What happens when I'm in a good conversation with a caller in Ludus, and all of a sudden people are like, Asmagon should bang somebody and have children? We're deciding this for you.
I had my son when I was 27, so I can't say anything. Real quick, Murder's Kitten, first question. Will there be any neutral chapters? And second, thoughts on Khan getting lost?
Neutral chapters.
So for neutral, that really, for me, means Renegade, where they haven't fallen to Chaos, but they don't follow the Imperium. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. You are going to have to clarify what you're asking there. But what are your thoughts on the Khan getting lost in Kamara?
I'm not sure I have any kind of detailed thoughts about it.
I think he should return because the fucked up post-torture Khan will be funny.
Well, the reason I don't have much for thoughts about this is we've already kind of broken down what there is to say about it, and there's only two things that come out of it. One, Khan ends up dead, or he comes out fucked up. It's just the way he gets fucked up is the debate. I guess the best way... I'm trying to think exactly what I can really say about it. I guess my question to answer your question is, do you mean what do I think the writers of Black Library will do with it? Or are you asking more what I would think, given the lore we have, what would happen? Which would be more of your question, I suppose.
And also, he said, yes, neutral Renegade, but it's you're asking, will there be any neutral chapters? What do you mean by that is what I was asking.
And aren't there? I'm pretty sure there are.
Oh, yeah, there are plenty of Renegade chapters.
There's plenty of Renegades, so... They certainly would have a hard time replenishing their numbers, but...
Oh, yeah, I remember what I named this one, too. Ha ha! Funny. Yeah.
What would you do with Khan if you had to write him? Okay. If I wrote him, leaving Kamarag,
Oh, he'd be fucked in the head.
and I would agree. I would write him fucked. Like, I would make him very, like, almost schizophrenic. Because the thing is, you really gotta sell the consequence of being in some place like Kamarag for as long as he's been in there. I wouldn't necessarily transfer him to Chaos, but at the same time, I'm not sure how I would go about keeping him loyalist while also turning him essentially into a raging psychopath.
Well, here's how I would do it. Here's how I could keep him loyal. Because he was always really distant from his brothers. Now, instead of distance, it's more of a paranoia thing. So, it's, it'll be like where he becomes really mistrustful of Gilliman and the Imperium now because it's not like what it was. I don't know what the fuck. So I would do it that way, where he's always kind of like mistrustful, but that's also not different from how he was to begin with. Just take it to like an even higher extreme.
I think I would write him hyper aggressive. And like I said, a level of schizophrenia, like mood swings. Like, he'll have these moments of really standard calm, but with the right kind of triggers, he can go from that to corn-like raging, from that to dead calm. I would definitely have him... This is where I'm kind of torn. I don't know if I would have him hesitant to fight the Drukhari or insistent on fighting them.
I'd probably say insistent.
What's the thing? I'm not sure which I would go with. I'd probably say insistent because I think he's less likely to be scarred. Well, the thing is, it would also depend on like how I would want at the end of the day for the Drukhari to come off. If I want the Drukhari to come off as bastards and certainly deserve to be gotten revenge on, I would definitely go make him more wrathful around them, and his now one goal in life is to basically kill all the Drukhari. But if I also wanted to impress upon the readers and like the fan base how horrifically dangerous they are, I'd probably write him more afraid of them, more scarred from them. Make it a really strong example of like why the Drukhari are so menacing and why they're a major power though they may be lacking in numbers, why they are a major threat in the lore. That's one of those things where I'd have to consider which would be more effective and also more accurate with the lore as we have it. And Ludus just said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
No, it wasn't that. I thought I saw a light from my door.
Oh, okay.
But no, I was like, I wasn't expecting anyone coming today. What the fuck is this bullshit?
People aren't allowed in here. Oh my god.
But real quick, as a little self plug, I had a video just released and I completely forgot about it. It's my first because I'm playing the Chaos campaign on Soulstorm, and this is my first match against the Orcs. And so, just to prove a point, I literally take on their whole base with nothing but Cornate Berserkers. And I named the episode Orcs Can't Melee.
What?
Yes, I decimate them hard in melee.
Okay.
So just to troll people, I named it Orcs Can't Melee.
Gavin Isaacs, Asmo, what's your favorite part of your Grimdark so far? My Grimdark? I guess I'd say my bias for my Grimdark right now is the Sovereignty and their lore. I definitely say I love writing the Sovereignty, but there's also a little bit of glee when I get to write the Wrathen as well, just the ultimate scumbags of the galaxy.
Carneth Corn, I love the stupid fucking voice acting in that game, Murder's Kitten, and this is why I like Ludus. He is great in trolling.
Trolling,
Hey,
trolling.
in that instance, the orcs couldn't melee because I literally had like 6 squads of Khorne Berserkers and I just rolled right the fuck over them.
Rolling. Corn Berserkers, Lord Karen.
One of the best thing is I love the Khorne Berserker model from Soulstorm because they twitch, and I absolutely find that the funniest fucking thing possible.
Twitch.
No, they really do. That's the best part. They sit there and just shake. They're like, yeah, yeah. Oh my god! Come on,
Twitching little weirdos. Alright, so we're gonna take a couple more questions and we'll probably wrap things up here. Asgon, what do you think about the Inquisition and High Lords landing Dark Eldar on Terra to repair the throne? Wait, what? Wait, did that happen? Did I miss something?
I don't know about that.
Did a new book come out or something? Like, what the fuck? I'm not aware of that plot development. Or is that like a what if kind of thing? That's canon. Oh, that happened. What book? I'm totally blanking on that. Damn. I missed something major.
So did I.
When the fuck did that happen? What? Please tell me the book. Jesus. Been a thing for a while. Well, I've not heard of it.
I haven't heard it. Yeah, I haven't either.
Gavin Isaacs, my last question is, what are the Adeptus Mechanicus... Wait, what? My last question is, what are the Adeptus Mechanicus? I'm getting an army for them, but lore is escaping me for them. You don't know about the Adeptus Mechanicus? Okay, we don't know about something that apparently everybody else does. And apparently Gavin Isaacs doesn't know about the entire Adeptus Mechanicus. This is weird. I feel like I entered the Twilight Zone. Well, Gavin Isaacs, the Adeptus Mechanicus are the Mechanicum of Mars. Pre-heresy, they were just known as the Mechanicum. How to describe them quickly? They're a bunch of...
They're a bunch of little shitlords that hoard tech.
There's a really streamlined way to describe them. They are technophiles. If you know what that means, that'll help me a lot in streamlining the explanation. They're religious. They're hyper-religious technophiles that don't believe in the Emperor as a god. I think they believe him as a prophet of the Omnissiah. Is that what they typically refer to him as? I know they know he was super powerful and godlike, but they never considered him... They never thought of him as the Omnissiah, and I don't believe they thought of him as a different god. But they believe in the Omnissiah, which is the machine spirit. Basically, there's a god or a presence, a life in all machinery. So everything from the littlest wind-up toy to a full-blown titan. Everything has a soul in it that is controlled and connected to the Omnissiah, which is a greater machine spirit. And that to get these devices to work properly, you need to appease the Omnissiah. And to do that, you have to pray to the Omnissiah, you have to do like hymns and shit. They're hyper-religious about it. And because of their obsession with machinery, they also like to replace their flesh, limbs, and all that with mechanical parts. full-blown limbs, new legs, like spider legs and shit. That they're basically they're under the philosophy that the flesh is weak, and for you to become stronger and more holy, you need to have more and more of your your flesh stripped from you. They're also the guys who are 100%. The reason the Imperium doesn't kill them for their heresy is because they quite literally make everything. They make the guns, they make the ammo, they make the Titans, they make the Imperial Knights. Everything, literally everything, comes from them.
Did you hear me, Asmagon?
No, sorry, you cut out.
They make the toaster glory holes.
Yeah, there's also the joke that they like to fuck toasters.
That's a joke?
It's been a long-running joke.
I again ask with a question mark on the end. That's a joke?
Maybe? There's been no confirmed sightings of a tech priest Dominus humping a toaster.
Reddit is a thing.
But yeah, they're hardcore religious technophiles that don't believe in the God Emperor, but they do believe in the Omnissiah. And the reason the Imperium doesn't fuck with them, and the reason they support the Imperium, the reason they support the Imperium is the Imperium adds a level of protection for them, as well as they also get other benefits from the resources that are gathered for them by the Imperium. So it's they live in a mutualistic lifespan. Technically, they are considered separate from the Imperium in a very basic level, but almost everybody categorizes them under the Imperium. Even though, again, technically, they are their own entity. But they very much do serve the Imperium in a lot of ways. So it's weird. But yeah, they're a very awesome faction. Really cool, really fascinating. But if you want to know like really heavy details into them, definitely look up some lore vids. There's some great vids out there talking about the Adeptus Mechanicus. I could probably rant about a good couple hours about them. But we are short on time here, so that's my best way of quickly explaining what they are.
You know how you can tell. Okay, I was right. You know how you can tell who the real big shots are in the Mechanicus?
How?
The Moderati Primus, which is the ones that actually like the main controllers of the Titans. They don't fuck toasters. They fuck toaster ovens. Don't look at me that way.
Alright.
And so Myron said they don't invent, they just build. That's half true. They don't really invent new shit, but when they do find
they do it's this is the thing where technically they don't invent brand new technology, but if they rebuild shit that they have blueprints for and they believe is okay to continue building.
Well, it's like when they find a new STC, which is essentially like a blueprint for all intents and purposes. Even if it's one they haven't seen for a while, they will build that. And to my knowledge, some of them will do improvements. So that's the closest they get to inventing, really. But that's about it.
Alright, so the book that they're referring to with the Dark Eldar invading the Imperial Palace, apparently the book is The Carrion Throne. I have not read that. Carrion Throne. Came out in 2017. May 23rd, 2017, so it's about 4 years old now. Inquisitor Erasmus Crowell and his acolytes. Yeah, I've not read this book, nor heard anything about it. It's got a 4.2 out of 5, though.
I haven't heard anything about it either. Yeah. And it's called what again?
The Carrion Throne. Carrion spelled Carrion.
Okay.
I thought you would think I would have heard about the Dark Eldar invading the Imperial Palace, unless it went nowhere. Maybe that's why people haven't talked. I haven't seen anything about it. Maybe it's a kind of dead end book, but yeah, I've heard nothing about this at all. And I've done a lot of lore dives, so you would have thought I'd come across it by now.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it, so I just really don't have an opinion on it.
Murderskin says it went nowhere. Yes, maybe that's why I haven't heard anything about it. And I can't think of why I wouldn't have heard it. It's something that big, I should have seen something about it by now. So if it went nowhere, I can see why I wouldn't have seen anything about it. But yeah, I've never heard of the. But to answer the question as best as I can, not knowing the story, not knowing the book at all, the best I can do to answer the question is the concept of the Inquisition being like, yay, Dark Eldar, who are known for being, if you're being charitable, shady as fuck. If you're being honest, fucked up in the head and absolutely nuts as hell and evil as it gets without being chaos, technically. Allowing them to land on Terra to repair the throne. Which, what motivation do they have to do that? And there's so much about that makes no sense to me just on concept, but maybe the books are really good at read. I don't know.
For me, it would have to be one of those things where the Inquisition is like, maybe we can learn from them as far as torturing.
And typically the Inquisition likes to figure that out on their own.
Yeah, but think about this. They get the opportunity to learn from the homunculi, who scare the fuck out of everyone.
Understandably. But yeah, if it went
Like-
nowhere, I suppose that's why we haven't heard about it.
Like, I love the whole story of the Night Lords fucking terrified because of the Dark Eldar and the homunculi.
I just read the book 2 weeks ago. It's definitely good reading. Well, see, even Jagonis, who's been a fan longer than me, just read the damn thing. So, now I feel... Ludus, who's also been a fan 10 years longer than me, didn't even hear about the book either. So, I don't feel bad at all for not hearing about this.
My cat is assaulting me.
It's assaulting. She's assaulting you. Alright, how much more time do you got?
I can probably squeak out about another 5-6 minutes.
Alright, let's wrap things up. Asmon, what's your favorite audiobook? Well, the audio, I've only gotten through the first 2 books audiobook-wise, but I did also... And that's of the Horus Heresy, but outside the Horus Heresy, I did also start the Hell's Reach audiobook, which I haven't finished, but... Oh boy. I enjoy the hell out of that audiobook. So I'd say, though I haven't finished it, I love the Hell's Reach audiobook a lot. So I would say, out of the audiobooks I've been able to listen to, while working on minis and doing other stuff, definitely Hell's Reach.
Mine would either be Fly the Eisenstein or Fulcrum.
Who voices? Is there a different person who does the voiceover for Fly the Eisenstein audiobook, or is it the same person who does Horus Rising?
No, it's a different person.
Okay, I'll look forward to that.
And Fulgrim is actually a different person from them as well. But I love the Fulgrim book, and the way the audiobook is so hilarious. I love it because they really do his delve into insanity really well. Until the point he starts talking to a painting made out of intestines and shit. Then it gets a little weird. But weird in a funny way.
Alright. Merce Kitten, Asgon, you do know that Dark Eldar were employed... You said were employed. I'm assuming you meant to say were. Were employed by the Imperium to repair the throne because Dark Eldar have no morals to help, unlike Craftworld Space Gypsies. Well, is that the reason the book gives?
If it is, that's a pretty piss poor reason.
Black Library, they have hit and misses. This is just on that alone, it sounds like a miss. Like, I could believe the Inquisition can pull a dumb move, like trying to employ the Dark Eldar to do something, but that
I would love to watch it backfire.
it would have to be a very different explanation than that. Modern Black Library writing people. And I thought Erda was some dumb shit, but well, no,
again,
Erda's still dumber than that, but that's pretty up there.
I would love to see it just to watch it backfire.
Yeah. It had a 4.2 out of 5 and a 4.4 out of 5. Sorry, 4.6 out of 5 is the other one. Audible gives it a 4.6. Goodreads, 4.2. So people seem to enjoy the book. Okay, so we'll zip through here. Yes, I am reading pretty much every book on Custodes. Nice. Hell's Reach, good shit. Yes. Both the writing and the voiceover for the audiobook is fucking dope. Gav guys, that rating though. Yeah. Also, Dark Eldar Hellying tech is way above Space Gypsies. So when you say Space Gypsies, do you mean Craftworld, or are you talking about Tau?
I think it means Craftworld Eldar.
Okay. Is it Jonathan Keeble voicing the Hell's Reach book? I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Let me double check. It might be. Voice over Hell's Reach audiobook. Written by Aaron Dembski. Narrated by Jonathan Keeble. Yep. Doggy, Azragon, doggy or missionary? Doggy. Every time. Well, there are Eldar.
We'd already established that he's a fan of the Space Wolves.
Well, there are other Eldar than Craftworld and Dark. Yeah, there's also the Harlequins. It's the only other ones that come to mind immediately. Marine, Heresy Detected. Space Gypsies is Craftworld Eldar. Okay. Go see your local Inquisitor. It's not Heresy for consent. Okay, nice. Silence is consent. What? This is why you don't zip through. Erzagon, woof. Woof. Alright, we're gonna wrap up there because Ludus has gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up my wife.
Alright. Let's see. Closing thoughts. Great stream. Thank you for everybody who did jumped on the calls. Interesting, we just found out about a lore tidbit that sounds, on very brief description, very major, yet I've never heard it talked about at all in these last 7 years, so that's kind of interesting that nobody's talked about it in any of the circles I've discussed, but okay. Anything you want to close up on, or?
I actually had a lot of fun with, especially with doing the callers thing.
Yeah,
so that was that was a new edition, and that was a fun edition. So something I'm definitely looking forward to doing in the future.
Indeed. All right, thanks so much for hopping on, guys, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.